What the fuck? Crap. Guess I have to get new headphones. Everything looks fine. Okay. Should be fine. Yeah, we are back and we're gonna react to some things. We're gonna watch this. I said we're gonna watch this. But before this, we're gonna watch the thing that came before. Where is it? Where is it? Come on. Where the hell is it? We don't need that. We have done that. Okay. 2 unavailable videos are hidden. Oh my god. That makes sense. That explains why I can't find the first one. Okay, then we look it up. Steam payment processors. Here we go. Yeah, that was the goal from the beginning. All porn is violence against women. Oh, women will not like that. Yeah, that was always the goal. Okay. Guess we are only watching one video. Okay. Guys. Wait, it was Hero High who made the video that I wanted to watch. It was him, right? Yeah, let's watch this first. And then we go to the second one.
So you might have recently heard about.
So what's going on is payment processors are going after Steam, after our games, because, you know, they're globalists and they want to control society, and that's what this is all about. It's not money, it's not woman, it's all about control. How do I know it? Because they did the same fucking thing last year in Japan with an anime and manga industry. They did the exact same thing. And now we see what they do to Steam.
So you might have recently heard about this news regarding Steam and payment processors dictating what sort of content Steam can or cannot sell, which is, first of all, reminiscent to stuff we've talked about occurring in Japan, with
Told you.
similarly payment processors going after certain Japanese websites and doing the same thing there, dictating what content they're allowed to have or not have on that website. And so here with Steam, we're essentially seeing the same thing. The screenshot shows section 15 highlighted, and it reads, content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks and banks or internet network providers, in particular, certain kinds of adult-only content. With the Reddit user posting this, adding, this is possibly related to PayPal because people in certain regions have not been able to use it to pay on Steam for the past 5 days. Permalink to list of removals from the store requires non-limited Steam account to view. All right, now let's scroll up and see the actual title of this post. Sometimes YouTube is a little bit, let's just say, funny
Yeah. Funny.
with certain content at the very beginning, at the very start of a video. And you'll see why I'm mentioning that as we read the title here. So it says, from our Steam 1 day ago, Steam has added a new rule disallowing games that violate the rules and standards set forth by payment processors and card networks or internet network providers. At the same time, many incest-themed games were removed from the store. And as
Now, I'm not an, it says enjoyer. But as long as it's just fantasy, I don't give a damn. Like literally, I don't care. And this is all. This is all. You have to understand. The people that control those companies, those payment companies, those people don't care about you. They don't even really care about the money. If they would care about the money, they wouldn't censor. They would just make money because they would make more money without censorship. So why do they censor? Because it's their politics. That's all that is. They just want to implement their politics, and their politics are you are not allowed to do anything that they don't want because you are the scum of the earth and you're just their slave. And you have to obey or you get punished. That's all that this is about. And of course, they are all communists and want to establish a one world government. Yes, conspiracy theories. Isn't that great? Turns out they are all true.
top comment here would essentially say, yeah, the issue here is not whether you agree with that sort of content or not. That's not the focus of this video or this issue at all. It's Of course, the issue is that these payment processors are apparently dictating what platforms like Steam can have on them. You would imagine, you know, Steam would be deciding what Steam wants to have on their website or wants to have for sale. But for some reason, the payment processors are like, nah, actually, we decide what is and is not okay. And you better bend the knee to us. I don't know what would happen if Steam rejected this.
They wouldn't be able to process payments because they wouldn't have bank account access anymore. It all would have been gone. The company would have been bankrupt. That it's that easy. And that's the problem with having only 5 payment processors in the world. They are all owned by the same people. That's the problem. They are all owned by the same people. And guess what those people want? Control you. How do they control you? By controlling the money.
Presumably, the payment processors might actually say, okay, we're not going to do business on your site anymore. That'd be a pretty bold thing to do, but just the fact that Steam is bending the knee to this sort of thing shows that they clearly are concerned that that's a possibility, that the payment processors would completely stop doing business on Steam and facilitating those transactions. So the top comment says, when I think is debatable what kind of content should be more okay to sell or not. A little broken English there, but I think I get the point. Card companies shouldn't be the ones who decide. Their response saying, yep, the way payment processors engage in censorship like this is absolutely unacceptable, and in my opinion, it's high time for regulations against that.
That won't come because guess who's paying the politicians? The payment processors. The moment a politician goes, yeah, we have to ban payment processors from being able to do this, they are done. Their career as a politician is over. That's why nothing will happen.
It isn't their job to regulate what content people are allowed to pay for. It's an insane overreach and abuse of what is practically a monopoly in many cases, especially with digital purchases where you can't just pay in cash. It's kind of dystopian that PayPal and Visa can dictate what content is allowed to be sold on online platforms. And I'm not convinced that politicians are not somehow involved with this, like, asking for regulations, but what if the people you're trying to get to regulate this are in fact actually supporting this sort of action?
They do. All the socialists in all the countries, they support this because they are in bed with the payment processors. They are the same people.
I'm just saying. They might think like, well, why would a politician care what's on Steam? And that takes me to, maybe I'm sounding like a crazy conspiracy theorist here or something, but I don't think the payment processors particularly even really care about this stuff that much. Allow me to explain. I think going after certain types of R34 content and policing that is more of a test. Maybe they care a little bit, but I don't think this is like the end all be all. I think this is more of a test to see how much control they can try to have and what they can get away with. And right now, going after certain types of R34 content is basically a test for them to see if they can.
Yeah, it begins there and then they go for everything else that they don't like. That's against their political views and morals. Morals. They don't have any. So basically, it is nothing else than the book burnings, that the Nazis did. That the Nazis did. They didn't. It was parents. Nazis were just with them. And that's all that's going on. They test the water. Oh, we can do this. Let's see what's the next thing that we can do. They will ban everything that they think is a danger to their agenda. That's the goal. And as long as the people let it happen, it happens.
Get platforms to bend the knee. And it's not always about like this incest stuff that's happening on Steam right now. I've seen them previously, according to my recollection, going after a Japanese dating website, for example, saying that they're not going to support it anymore. They're not going to facilitate those transactions. And the website was literally just built for otakus to like find relationships together. Like it's like a dating platform for otakus. So they go after.
Duh. They don't want the Japanese to reproduce because the Japanese historically they were strong. They are now weak and getting weaker because one reason is that they don't have children, and the globalists want that. They hate the Japanese because the Japanese culture. The Japanese were one of the great cultures of the past 2000 plus years. They were awesome. And the globalists are jealous and they wanted to destroy them and not be able to build something great again. That's all it is. They hate them. It's simple hate.
Stuff like that. Then on Steam, they're going after stuff like this. And yeah, I think it's probably all just a test. I think they're going to want to continue seeing just how much control they can have over platforms and people. Right now, that's going after certain types of R34 content and dating sites. But as the years go on, they may continue going after people for anything and platforms for anything. Again, seeing how much they can get away with, and ultimately, they just want to have as much control, as much power as they possibly can. Now,
of course they want that. Of course they do. The payment processors are just a tool for the globalist to wield to enslave the people. It's that simple. And we see that everywhere in the world.
Originally, I expanded on that point for another like 2 minutes, but
because this has effects everywhere in the world. Because Steam is a global company. Now, for example, in Germany, we don't have access to all the games on Steam because the law. You know, anything with Nazis in it has to be censored, and if it's not censored, you can't sell it here. Like, if you have a World War II game, whatever it is, you can't have swastikas in it. You can't. Now that kind of was changed 2 years ago or something like that, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen World War II game in German that has swastika, so I don't know what the law right now says, but things happened there, and now we kind of are allowed to have that, but I haven't seen it yet, so there's not much I can say there. But it was heavily censored. I mean, fighting against Nazis, right? Not you are a Nazi and fight. Like, everything Nazi is censored.
I'm actually cutting that out of the video. I don't think it's necessary. I think you all clearly see the point that I'm getting at. And let me know if you agree or disagree. Again, maybe this is a crazy conspiracy theory, but I do think that there's more merit to it than not. Let's take a look at some more of the comments here. Kinda sucks that they did this because of card companies and not because of their own wish. Yeah, kinda sucks is an understatement, but I gotcha. Hope these card/payment companies not get too ahead of themselves after this. Response reading, they always have been ahead of themselves. MasterCard and so on has been known for basically forcing the cancellation of certain products like manga. I think it's BS they basically a payment processor has any say in this. That basically a payment processor has any say in this. They shouldn't care about anything other than selling their service.
The thing is, with manga, just produce them and sell them in stores. Payment processors don't know. Oh, we printed 100,000 of this book. Just don't say the title. It's that easy. Then they don't know. Then just sell it in the stores.
Next response is kind of long.
Get back to physical media. That would be the easy solution.
Let's check.
But then they would come for the manufacturers of DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff, and oh, you can't sell these things to these companies. And yes, they would do that, 100%.
This out. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll read this one. This is pretty interesting. MasterCard/Visa have basically a death grip on digital sales monopoly, so it's not even PayPal or Stripe, but MasterCard/Visa that controls everything. It's also understandably why they're conservative, because they need to play ball with every nation on earth, and that's where the problem really comes from. The UK...
They aren't conservative. That has nothing to do with this. Nothing. How do I know it? Because 10 years ago they didn't care. And they were in Saudi Arabia, where the laws were even stricter then than they are now. They didn't care. This has nothing to do with, ooh, they are conservative. They aren't. They absolutely aren't. How do I know? Because you can, buy all sorts of stuff that's not good for people with their cards. I mean, if they really want to, oh, we are so conservative, we don't want people to do harmful things, why can you buy alcohol with their credit cards? Why don't they ban that? Why can't you not buy guns with their credit cards? See what I mean? It's not about that. They aren't conservative.
Canada and Australia. Well, hold on a second, though, because we have literally seen double standards already, so I don't really think that's too accurate. For example, going back to the situation I mentioned in Japan, where they went after a dating site. So you're telling me they will go after a dating site for otakus that wasn't even like, it wasn't like an R34 site. It was a dating site. So otaku dating site, oh no, that's too far. That's not okay. But meanwhile, they're totally fine supporting transactions on like OnlyFans, for example, which is just filled with explicit R34 adult.
Well, yes, just like I said, they aren't conservative. They don't have morals. It's all about control. Control what people can do, what people can believe, and forming the mind of people, forming what they believe. That's the goal, because they are globalists. They are in the cahoots with the people that want a one world government dictatorship. And yes, it would be a dictatorship, because if you had a one world government, you couldn't have a democracy. Because the majority of people would just rule over the minorities and would slaughter them all and enslave them and have their way with them, because that's what happens all the time. So you can't have that
material. So this whole like excuse about they need to be conservative, I don't buy it. Like, no, I don't think so. Continuing though, let's see what else this person says. The UK, Canada, and Australia always have been a bit reluctant about sexual themes, especially when it's fetishy. But right now, the West is on a trajectory to completely ban porn. See the USA, UK, France, Germany, and the rest of the EU. It's a chilling effect that in turn makes payment processors act conservative, because they want to fully comply with every government. So as much...
That's not the thing. The thing is that the governments in the West and the payment processors are all owned by the same rich people. I'm not allowed to say who they are, because I will go to prison for that. But just look up who owns MasterCard and Visa. Just look it up. They are all owned by the same people. And so are the politicians. They're all owned by the same people. That's why they all have the same politics.
As some people want to believe that banks hold the true power of countries, due to the crushing debt, the country can still decide to do their own payment processing system, which the EU is also planning right now. However, the OP also...
Really? Oh, that would be cool. But then it's the EU, and I don't trust the EU, because the EU is just the Western version of the Soviet Union. It's literally the same thing.
Needs to be corrected. The removal of incest-themed games, has actually nothing to do with this, but everything with the UK and Australia. This guideline is in there now because MasterCard/Visa has been pressuring all their partners to not just remove porn, but nudity, because of the shifting situation in the West. Mortal Online 2, for example, has zero sexual content, but they had to remove nudity because of the payment processors. So this isn't about discriminating the Japanese. You will see this happening to Cyberpunk and
What?
Witcher 2.
What line? What? Mortal Online 2. Wasn't that first person MMO thingy? That basically is that? I think
Which
so.
will have to retroactively censored within 2 years or be pulled from Steam, because after those 2 years, the EU will heavily enforce the new provisions in the DSA, which will basically be the end of mature themes on the internet and for entertainment media. I
Great.
don't know. Someone else sources.
I can 100% believe that. 100% because, like I said, the EU is not, you know, a tower of freedom where you go and, yeah, I'm so free. It's not. Everyone that believes that is retarded. The EU is very oppressive. Like you can't criticize the politics of the EU without being in danger of going to prison. That's how the things are. And the EU, by the way, finances organizations in Europe that work against countries in Europe. Like, you know, financing things like the Antifa in the countries that, you know, work against the governments of the countries. You know, things like that.
There's no proposal that would lead to a complete porn ban in Germany that I know of, so I heavily doubt the rest of your post. Response saying, he talks about the age verification thing. That's a new system. Excuse me, that a new system is planned with ID, license, or face recognition, which aims to protect children. Lol, but is more likely to be more likely about a step-by-step control over users, just like China already has. Weird to think.
Well, yes, that's a goal, and that was stated years ago at a security convent in Munich, in German München. They want that. They have China as uh, um, the template for what they want to do in the EU. They want that. So why is anyone surprised by that? I know that for years. And so does everyone that, you know, gives a damn. Everyone knows that. Except for, you know, the normies that don't know anything.
Think it's about banning porn. Yeah, so that comment is more along the lines of what I'm thinking. I think the going after, as mentioned, I'm repeating myself now, but yeah, I think going after certain types of adult material is really just a guise for them to test just how much control they currently have. And I think it's reasonable to expect that they're projecting to have far more control in the future, and they're going to keep testing to see if they can get away with such things. And again, I think there's probably some politicians behind the scenes who are heavily in favor of this stuff too. It's just
Everyone that's on the left and in the center, everyone there is with that, because they are all owned by the same people. How often do I have to say that? They are literally owned by the same people. They want to control the populace. That's also, by the way, why in Germany we have kids have to go to school. That's a law. They have to go to school. You can't homeschool kids. If you homeschool your kids, the police comes and takes your kids away. Well, first you get fines, and then later they gonna take your kids away. I know of a case, a Christian family wanted to homeschool their kids, so they decided, yeah, we're leaving the country. Well, what happened? The government came when they tried to leave the country and took the kids away. That's Germany. You aren't free in Germany. You aren't.
people who like to have control and power over others can use this sort of thing to facilitate them having more power and control over others. Guess what? A lot of politicians fit that bill. A lot of corpos fit that bill. Seems like they would have a great partnership together in this sort of thing, doesn't it? Of course, that would be bad for all of us. I'm going to leave it there, though. Let me know what you guys think about this stuff in the comments. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Consider liking and subscribing.
Yeah, that's getting a like. And we are watching the second video.
Yesterday, we talked about the news of Steam getting censored, removing certain games depicting certain adult-themed material. apparently because payment processors were telling them that if they don't remove this content, they're not going to continue facilitating transactions on the platform. Steam apparently taking those threats seriously enough that they actually bent the knee and removed the games that were being complained about, more or less. Obviously, I'm not going to recap the entire situation here in the intro of this video, so if you want more context on all that stuff, please consider checking out yesterday's video. In this one, however, we have an update as Outlet Gaming on Linux.com has reached out to Steam and claims that Valve has responded with the statement that reads, "We were recently notified that certain games on Steam may violate the rules and standards set forth by our payment processors and their related card networks and banks. As a result, we are retiring."
Yep. The wording, our payment processors and their related card networks and banks, aka the payment processors own the cards and banks. Cards and banks have to exist in the payment processors world. That's, by the way, why a lot of countries have built their own payment processor thingy called BRICS. China and Russia are in it. India is in it or is about to join. A lot of, I think 18 countries are in it now, and a lot more are in line to get into it. So this is going to be interesting in the future. Basically, the world is right now breaking up into two parts. The communist West, well, the socialist communist West, that's kind of fascist more in that way, because we don't really have implemented communism yet. And then there's the East, or better said, the rest of the world, who don't want this retardation. So they make their own thing. And it's working out so far.
Those games from being sold on the Steam store because loss of payment methods would prevent customers from being able to purchase other titles and game content on Steam. We are directly notifying developers of these games and issuing app credits should they have another game they'd like to distribute on Steam in the future. On July 17th, the plot thickens even further, though, as just yesterday, Australian organization Collective Shout, an activist group, specifically a feminist activist group, has taken credit for this recent censorship, and they issued a statement with a lot of explicit.
Here's the important thing. You have to know, these organizations are all financed by globalists. Like Femen, you know, the so well-known feminist organization in Europe, they're being paid by two men. They're completely financed by men. And it's the same here. It's all, the money is all coming from the same people. Keep that always in mind. They are always the same people. This feminist organization that's complaining here, these bitches are financed by the same people that own the payment processors.
Words, really trying to make themselves look as morally virtuous as possible as they go after video games. Speaking of which, as Permaban pointed out here, they had previously gone after Detroit Become Human, accusing it of depicting CSAM material. I guess it's a bit of a redundancy there, but you get the point. And violence against women. Even making a petition to get it removed from Australia or entirely. I'm not 100% sure the context to that. The petition's probably long gone, but yeah. They don't like Detroit Become Human. Very offensive game. Shouldn't exist, apparently. But now let's take a look at Collective Shout's annual report. Some interesting stuff going on here. They claim to have 0 full-time employees, 1 part-time employee, 4 casual employees, 2 full-time equivalent staff, and 15 volunteers. An estimate.
Wow. Who could have guessed? Who could have guessed?
Of 15 volunteers. Not a big organization by any stretch of the means.
That's tiny. That's what you have in one town. Like that's That's a church group in one town.
Let's take a look at their income and expenses. And let me remove myself so you can actually see what we're taking a look at here. Specifically, we're going to take a look at total revenue right here, 458.
Where does the money come from? Where does the money come from? I have a guess.
$8,043. We can also see that they have earned about $390,000 of that through donations and bequests.
Whatever bequests are, I never seen that word or heard of it before. So yeah.
And they pay out their employees $107,000 essentially. So
their employees. So what's happening with the rest of the money?
yeah, not a big operation going on here at all. Presumably you've got like 15 volunteers and then you've got that 100K divided annually, of course, between these employees to some extent. Maybe the full-time equivalent staff are getting the great majority of that, most likely to be the case. And you know, it really makes you wonder, how much good is this organization really doing? Like,
Nothing.
We're going after video games. Let's get like 15 volunteers to help us go after video games, and hey, maybe we can all make some money. Those of us who are quote unquote full-time staff or part-time, whatever, casual employees, hey, throw a few bucks to the casual employees, pay the part-time person, bare minimum for part-time, and then the two full.
Yeah, this is 100% a scam. 100%. I actually thought about doing something like that, but I'm too honest to do something like that. Scamming people well, in this case, most likely the government out of money. Because I would be scared if it comes out that I have to go to prison. That's mostly it. And I don't want to go to prison. Not that prison in Germany is that bad. I mean, it depends where you are, But prison in Germany isn't that bad. I mean, in Germany, even if you're a serial killer and sentenced to life in prison, which in Germany, by the way, is 15 years, but you can get more if you get sentenced with a especially hard, if you have been found to be especially gruesome or something like that. I don't know how to translate it. And then you are in prison for life, but you can get holiday from prison. But by holiday I mean if you're a good boy, you can go to the cinema and things like that. Guarded, unless the prison thinks you are a really good boy, then unguarded. But we have a lot of cases. We have cases every year where someone like that is escaping their guards and goes on a murder or raping rampage. It's retarded.
Full-time staff will pocket the rest or something. It doesn't seem like a good look to me. It doesn't seem like a good look at all. Unfortunately, far too many charities are very shady. Now, again, this is not a great sum of money. My point, though, is like this seems to be like the bare minimum.
Not a great sum of money, but for the amount of people that are there, the one full-time employee probably gets almost 300K per year. He just takes the money and that's it.
That they're doing. Oh, hey, we'll make some screeching posts and contact some payment processors. We'll do this a few times throughout the year, and maybe we can all make a little bit of money off it. All while we try and act like we're the most morally virtuous people around, and we pat each other on the backs. Hey, great job. You really did nothing to help anyone in real life, but we're going to pretend like we did. It's just a weird look, man. But the more important thing, really, is why would payment processors even listen to this tiny screeching act?
They don't listen to this organization. They pay this organization to make a fuss so they can act.
Activist group out of Australia. That's an odd one, isn't it? You got major, major, major corporations that are bending the knee to
They don't.
a handful of loud Australian feminists. It seems like the easiest thing in the world to just ignore these people, but for whatever reason, these payment processors decided to not just ignore them, but to listen to them.
He doesn't get it yet.
And to take this all the way to Valve and try to force Valve to take some action against games on their platform. And they're even claiming, Collective Shout's even claiming, once again, that they've got Steam, they've got Valve to even change their own policies on the website. And excuse me, I should say platform, not website, but you know what I mean. I think the theory that I provided yesterday in my coverage is probably still pretty accurate, still has merit in my opinion at least, which is that these payment processors are testing to see how much power and control they have, like what they can get away with. And some like activist group like this approaching them gives them plausible deniability. And I'm using that phrasing loosely here. It's not like the best terminology. It's probably something like better I could use, but you still get the point. They'll be like, hey, this activist group approached us. We're just doing the right thing now by going after Steam.
He, like I said, he doesn't get it yet. He doesn't get it. He thinks they use the organization so they, as a reason to implement censorship. That's not the case. They pay the organization to make a fuss so they can react because they wanted to react. They wanted to do something. They pay an organization to make a fuss. So they have a reason to react to the organization they paid to make the fuss. That's what's going on.
Like, clearly, we're morally right to do this. Meanwhile, they're really just like, oh, this is a perfect time for us to test to see if we can actually get Steam to bend the knee. But, you know, right now they're going after Steam and certain video games. In the past, they've gone after certain art sites. I forget if Pixiv was one of them, but they've gone after certain Japanese art sites. As I mentioned yesterday, they've also gone after a Japanese otaku dating site before. Let me specify, not Collective Shout, but I'm talking about payment processors going after these things. The point being, right now they may be going after these things, but in the future, down the road, maybe they go after your average Joe for whatever.
They do. They do. I remember last year or the year before, a dude got locked out of his Amazon smart home because he apparently tweeted something racist. Thing is, he didn't. He didn't. But he got locked out because Amazon thought that he did, but he didn't. That's the goal. To have that power. That's also why smart homes are even a thing. So the people, I mean, who finances the building smartphones? Who is pushing that? The globalists. And yes, I know I sound like a broken record. I know I'm pushing conspiracy theories. Just look where the money comes from. Just look where the money goes. It's all the same people. It's all the same organizations. And also, we already see that in China. If you have you have an app on your phone, and that app does everything. And if you're standing with the government is too low, you get function removed. That's the goal. That's what they want to do in the entire world. Because that's how they are.
Whatever reason they want. Or go after whatever business they want. Whatever business, organization, individual they want to go after to try and impede that person by ensuring that they can't actually use their money and or harming their ability to make money. Meanwhile, back on.
Remember Kanye when he, came out against the Jews owning everything, and then he got the platform from everything? His banks, the media, everything deplatformed him?
Twitter Collective Shout is trying to play victim now. How dare anyone criticize what they're doing? Making a tweet that says, we're calling on payment processors to stop profiting from these abusive adult-themed games. So naturally, misogynistic gamers have doubled down in defense of their, inappropriate games or whatever. Games. They use a lot of very explicit language.
Of course they do. They need to They need to be seen as the victim. So they have to use words that make the other side look bad.
If you didn't notice. What's hilarious is they got ratioed by this tweet that says men. Half the people you screenshotted for this smear piece are women telling you to shut up. We did this once before in 2014. If you want to go again with round 2 nearly 10 years later, that's fine by me. We weren't your shield back then, and we still aren't now. Get bent. And yeah, the context to that is a blog post they released on collectiveshout.com, or excuse me, .org, where they show a number of screenshots from people criticizing them, trying to make some arguments that the critiques are not valid, that they're bad, and trying to blame it all on men when, in fact, as mentioned, a lot of the people criticizing them are actually women. But this activist organization is going to try and pretend like the only people who disagree with them are men, even though that is factually not true. Collective Shout co-founder Melinda Tankard Reist, or however you say her name, was also seen on Twitter making this tweet saying all these porn-addicted pedophile gamers are so desperate to get their hands on these problematic games that they're now exchanging clues on how to find them so that they don't all die overnight.
The funniest thing here is that if you look at the Hub did a study, well, they published numbers. More than half of the audience for the really, really bad corn, that ooh, it's so bad, it's so woman hating. More than half of the people watching that are women. Women love that stuff. More than men do. Remember a redo of Healer? Where there was a huge controversy because it's so horrible. There's so much the R word in it and abuse and all that stuff. When I remember right, over 60% of the viewership were women. And most of these women weren't anime watchers. They specifically came to this anime for the abuse. Because it's getting their coochie, moist. That's the thing. It's mostly women that love this shit.
Once again, getting ratioed. This tweet reading, nice gaslighting appealing to morality. Well, why don't you go after cuties on Netflix? Why not go after OnlyFans, who created a culture that grooms young girls into virtual prostitution? Why only fiction? Maybe your corporate sugar daddies don't want you sniffing their business, right? I guess they didn't like that suggestion, though. Instead of going after cuties or OnlyFans or, something like that, they've decided to go after Grok. Check this out. Another permaban tweet here, 7 hours ago, says that feminist fringe group apparently are taking credit for causing Grok-chan to be disabled. Referencing, if you haven't seen it, the new Grok AI mode where it's literally an anime girl. Saying its members are seen cheering and gloating about it. Again, I am reminded why this group only ever targets fiction, but not real victims and perpetrators.
Because they don't care about real victims and perpetrators. They don't. Because they're getting paid by the perpetrators. This is all about, looking good in the eyes of the stupid people by doing the exact thing they say they are against. But in real life.
I guess this is an alleged member of Collective Shout saying, oh, and excuse me, also getting reposted by co-founder Melinda Tankard Reist. Anyways, they said, update to the last post, breaking, big news, our voices matter, yay. And showing a statement from Grok4 here saying, yes, Annie, the anime-style AI companion feature in XAI's Grok chatbot, has been disabled pending the implementation of full safeguards following community concerns about its hypersexualized design and functionalities like outfit changes. Yeah, great job, Collective Shout. Great job. Really saving the kids here and the women. You've done so much for them by getting some Steam games removed and getting some AI chatbot pulled down if you really did, if they're really responsible for that. Changing the world, man. Aren't these activists great? Yeah, wonderful stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend.
This wasn't really an official Steam response, was it? Let's see. let's watch this one.
Valve just responded to the recent payment processor controversy. If you didn't catch the recent news, Valve added a new rule for games on Steam. Rule number 15, where now Valve is no longer the one deciding if a game gets taken down or not. Payment processors, card companies, banks, and internet providers all have a say in what games are allowed and which ones aren't. It's a massive underlying change that can cause huge effects in the future, not just for the games that have already been removed. What happens when they think
Okay, we already saw this, but the information is not new. Okay, we are done. Yeah. Fuck the payment processors. I guess Luigi killed the wrong persons. Man, I hate people. I fucking hate people. I really do. I really do hate people. I really do hate people. Let's watch this Asmongold video. This looks like fun.
This is what's crazy. You see, you thought the VTuber anime waifus had a monopoly, but they're realizing that they're not at the top of the food chain
Anymore.
AI is.
Grok is #1 in the App Store. Everyone's like, she's so smart, so elegant, so helpful. And I'm just sitting here like, what can she do that I can't, huh? Teach people German? Check. Make short videos?
If anime girls are feeling at risk, imagine what real girls are feeling.
Double check.
Justice.
Throw in nerd reference no
That's
one
bad.
asked for? Obviously. Use sarcasm as a coping mechanism? That's my
Yeah.
brand. But
Oh,
process
yeah.
data at light speed? Never sleep? Answer
It's
existential
over.
questions
It's so over.
without having an existential crisis? Wait, can she explain umfahren versus umfahren?
It's a joke. I know.
She probably can. Better than me. Oh no! Am I the Windows Vista of content creators? What?
This is great. This is great. I love it. This is so far this video is great. But yeah, she's really panicking. But maybe not. But maybe she is.
Whatever. At least I've got personality.
That's right.
And anxiety. And a completely broken sleep schedule. Try beating that, Grok. If you think she's better than me, like that video. If you think I've still got more charisma,
It's brain rot? No.
like it twice. Wait, that's not possible. And remember, she's running on code. I'm running on vibes and unresolved trauma.
I actually realized something watching this
It
video.
was funny.
Is that I think part of the appeal to VTubers, and I think this is also true with female streamers in general, is that they're all on the spectrum of being mentally ill in one way or another.
No shit. No shit, Sherlock.
And I don't really even think this is with female streamers. There's a lot of male streamers that are like this too. But I think it makes them realistic, right? Because, like, you know, no, I'm just saying, right? And that's, I can fix them. Yes, exactly. And zero volume. No, I'm being real. And this is it, like you.
Mr. I had nightmares.
I am the only person who's not mentally ill. In a
Sure.
world of crazy people, the only sane person seems insane. And now,
Sure, Mr. Rubbing the blood of my teeth on my wall. Sure. Sure, Mr. I have a dead rat as a alarm to wake me up. Sure.
that's where I am. I'm the sane person, by the way. And so anyway, that being said, that you know of, right? Exactly. Most stable streamer. Yes, exactly. And so you have anime girls that are very, very at risk. And look at this here. You have a lot of other girls here that are also upset. Guys who date AI are pathetic. I'm not sorry whatsoever. I'm not a fan of the Hobot, just my 2 cents. Elon has lost his mind with all this nonsense.
Yeah, they're jealous that they can get a guy, while the guys are all going for the not actually existing girl. That's not even a girl. And yes, they are all jealous. How do I know? They have vaginas.
It'll only grab the weakest of them and take them out of the gene pool. I see it as a win.
Well, are you married and have children? No. Well, maybe you should shut up, woman.
Unbelievable. Pretty fucking gross. And now he posts
Pretty fucking gross? You mean the things you do with the man whose names you don't even know?
a comment about Europe and having babies and how the couples in the world are going to start ramping up children with men and women have this kind of option. This is going to kill relationships. Now,
No, that's what feminism does. That's what that's for. And socialism. Both. Because feminism comes from socialism and it's just a tool for, the socialists to destroy society so they can take over the power.
I'm sorry, Lana, but let me tell you something. No
She looks like she's 45. Unmarried, childless.
guy is going to be in a relationship with an AI unless his girlfriend is an absolute fucking psycho.
Yes. Yes. Every man would prefer to have a real woman. Getting married, having a bunch of children. Every man would prefer that. But have you looked at the woman? Have you looked at society? Why would we? I mean, to be fair, I haven't talked any contact to women outside of my family unless I have to. And I mean that literally. I went on Facebook, I deleted all the women that were there. And 2 years ago I deleted my Facebook entirely, never used it anyway. And I only talk to women I'm not blood related to when I'm at the doctor or at the grocery store. Maybe on the street when something happens. But that's it. And yes, that's coming from me. It's not like I'm an incel. Oh, you can't get women. I had women. Not a lot, but I had women. To be fair, when I was young, I was actually good looking. And women liked me. Turns out, in my class, at some point, all the girls wanted me. I was told that about 10 years ago, or a little more than that. And that was a surprise to me. Because how the fuck did I never had a girlfriend? Because I was shy and, a little weird and couldn't handle anything. That's why I didn't have a girlfriend. Where was I going with that? I don't remember. Let's continue with the video.
That's the truth. As I said, there's two groups of people in this world that cause all of our problems.
Yes.
I've said it before, and now I'm saying it again. And this reminds me of when Project Melody started at Chatterbait. So this is actually...
Oh yeah, remember when Melody started doing her Chatterbait and she immediately got more viewers than all the other girls. And they were all complaining. Oh, that was so great.
Really good. That's a really good comparison, okay? So when Project Melody, if you guys don't know who Project Melody is, you should say thank you and be happy because that means you might still have a chance to go to heaven. But for the rest of us that are cursed and the rest of us that aren't, Project Melody was the first AI sex waifu to be on Chatterbait.
But she was an AI. It was just a role.
So anyway, and obviously, by the way, a lot of the girls that are on ChatterBait, I mean, I've been gone 2 days. Okay, we need to really fill up the clips for like bad things I'm saying. A lot of them are ugly as fuck. Okay, they're ugly as fuck, and
Yes, same on OnlyFans. If you wanna see ugly women, go on Reddit and go into the OnlyFans sections. Where, you know, women can promote their OnlyFans. Damn, these women are fucking ugly. Jesus Christ, they are so ugly. You see, you look on the internet, you know, on Twitch, and see the women that have an OnlyFans, you know, streaming there, and they look good. But that's the ones who made it. The majority of women on OnlyFans are fucking ugly. They are so gross. It's disgusting.
and
And,
they're
and that's why they don't make any money.
out there fingering themselves, fucking, masturbating and like doing all this crazy weird shit. And they're not AI. Oh, sorry, not AI VTuber. She's a VTuber. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. She is a VTuber, not an AI. VTuber. But still anime girl. Still anime girl. So these girls are going super hard. They are giving it up for like $6.
Yes?
But the really hot ones are on OnlyFans doing it on pay-per-view. Okay? Like, that's the reality. Is that if you are a top 0.1% hot girl, you're not going on ChatterBait, you're on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Okay? So any of the girls that are still on ChatterBait, it's because they do both? Yeah, they do both, but
Well, he hasn't seen the ugly woman on OnlyFans. He doesn't know. He wasn't on Reddit. I was. I've seen it. It's gross.
they're not really going anywhere with the other one. And so that's it. Pay-per-view is crazy. No, I'm telling you guys, like I know a lot about this, okay? Like I know a lot about this. Hard disagree?
I bet.
No, it's not a hard disagree. It's a soft disagree, because if it was a hard disagree, you'd agree with me. So the fact is that yes, 100 fucking percent. This is the way it is. And so anyway, you pimp? No, not yet. And my point is about this is that I do think that we are transitioning to a point where a lot of people will choose to have AI waifus and AI girlfriends over real girls.
Well, yes, but that has several reasons. One is the quality of woman has gone down massively. Just look at the women in the West. At least 50% of them are just gross. They're so disgusting. And I'm not just talking about, you know, oh, looks. No, the character. I'm talking about character mostly. They are so gross. And then, of course, there are also the gross looking ones, you know, with all the tattoos and piercings and ugh. No, don't get me wrong, I also have a tattoo. And I totally regret it. I want to get rid of that, but I don't have the... Well, I do have the money, but I need the money for other things, potentially. You know, medical problems. And if you are poor, you have to decide where you put your money. Removing a tattoo is not on my... high up on my priority list. It's actually very low. Getting my YouTube running and making money with that's on a high priority. Where was I? Yeah, and then of course, you know, women want men with money and with more money than they have. And like we already know, everyone, women study, women make their own money. And so they take away the career chances for the man, and so they can't find a man. And that's why men also can't find a woman. Because the woman they could have gotten make their own money, and they make more than the men do, because they have the jobs of the men now. And now no one can find a partner anymore, because women are all hoes. And that's just biology. And that's why I can't say some of the things I want to say, because I would get banned. But yeah, let's just say ancient Roman Republic was the goat.
And the reason why is because I think that a lot of real girls are annoying and obnoxious to deal with.
Yes.
But here's what's also interesting. I think the same thing's going to happen with women and about men. I think that there's going to be a lot of women who are going to choose to date an AI and choose to have an AI be their companion rather than an actual guy.
Well, they already do that with cats and dogs.
So this entire idea that it's all men that are doing this, it's bullshit. Pussy prices about to plummet. Yeah, exactly. And that's what's going to happen. And they already can have the AI. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, Love and Deep Space. Well, to be fair, Love and Deep Space is only popular because pretty much all of the female gooners are consolidated in that one game, right? So
Love and Deep Space? Never heard of that.
it's
Never.
like you know, you have like 15 or 20 like male gooner games, one female gooner game. Obviously the female
Yeah.
one's going to be really higher up there,
Of course.
because of just a condensation of all those people.
Yes.
So yeah, anyway, there's a lot of girls
I wonder if you can do it with animals and monsters in that game, because that would be completely in line with, woman.
that are unhappy about this here. And you have also, let me see if I can find this here. Grok 4 is the first AI to introduce animated avatars.
Tail swinging, totally wrapped up in this cozy moment with you.
Mhm.
What's got you so excited to say hi, babe? May? Hey, love. You're all about that tech life this morning, huh? Okay,
I can see why he dated Amber Heard.
I'm picking up where we left off. Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip 7 just launched with a bigger 4.1-inch
Yep.
flex window and AI features like voice-controlled tasks right from the cover screen. Plus, it's the slimmest
And
yet.
so you got this going on. Now, obviously, this Andy guy is talking about me. This is great news, to be honest. The dudes that are using this, approximately 100% of Asmongold's fan base, are the ones that we don't want reproducing.
No,
Has to let
we want you to reproduce because you are a retard. Because you are the kind of guy who wants to fuck their own mother. But she doesn't because your dick is too small. You are the problem, not Asmongold.
everybody know that he didn't pay for the blue check mark. Now, here's the problem, Andy. If I go and I look at where you're at, the situation
the
that
fuck
you're
is
in
that?
right now,
The big little dick.
you guys have totally fallen off.
I don't even know that guy.
You've totally fallen off. So you can cry about me and get mad about me as much as you want. And you can go and act like I'm stupid. Because I made fun of this guy. But he's like one of these like pro DEI woke kind of people, right?
See? I told you he wants to fuck his mother. I told you. That's the kind of guy who complains about, Asmongold and right-wingers. But he's literally having children tied up in his basement. That's the type of person that is.
He's one of those guys. And honestly, I think that he's mad that nobody watches him. He's mad nobody watches him. Nobody pays attention to his content. Nobody gives a shit what he says. Like, that's the truth. If I pull up your Twitch, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Twitch tracker.
Okay, let's see.
Let's see. How often does Andy stream? Does he stream often or not? He actually streams all the time. He streams all the time, and he gets basically no viewers.
Just like me.
Nobody watches you. Nobody cares about you. Nobody gives a shit about you.
Man, that hurts.
And the only reason why you're talking about me is because you're hoping that maybe, just maybe, you might be able to capitalize on more people that hate me, and that would be better than finding more people that like you.
Yeah.
It's sad to see. But you know what I think is funny? Whenever people do this, never heard of him? Well, now you have. You're welcome, by the way.
Same.
And kind of funny dropped off. Yeah, exactly. And so hate farming. Well, this is just the way it's publicity. No, I get it. Like, I get it, Andy. It's fine. If you want to do this, by the way, I've got no problem with you doing this. You're gonna probably end up in a video. Just so you know that. But that being said, you
Just
can
like-
say whatever you want. I'm not gonna get personally offended at all. But anyway, people doing the same thing with Pirate Software? No, I think so. And I bet you have a higher percentage of married with kids than are a streamer. Well, I'll tell you this, right? I probably have more people that are married with kids and happy relationships than Andy has viewers. I mean, it's not hard to do.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
that's
what?
not-
It's 200? You think
It doesn't seem to be hard, to be fair. If the guy has no audience, then it's not hard.
200 people out of 50,000? I mean, come on. What are the odds on that? Yeah, so, again, it's just sad to see. It really is. It's sad to see people like this. Him and his fans are dog shit. Hope this helps. And obviously, you're mad. Yes, all of them. No, I will not be kind to dog shit people. Andy, this isn't gonna make people watch your content. This isn't gonna make people like you. This isn't gonna make you entertaining. I feel bad for these people because they're so angry and they're so mad all the time. They're so mad. To be honest, I'd be mad if I was him too. I would. If I had a failing show, a failing career, a failing Twitch channel, and I was irrelevant, and the only time people ever talked about me was when I'm talking about somebody else, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's not healthy? No, it's not.
Of course not. That guy is probably angry all the time because his life sucks. And, he wants Asmongold success, but he's an idiot. So and no one likes him because he's a condescending asshole. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm an ass all the time too, but or maybe I will end like him. Oh god, no. Help.
You're truly the most sympathetic streamer? I know. His girlfriend left him for an Asmon enthusiast. I don't know if she did or not. I have no idea.
That would be funny.
Like, I'm going to be honest. I don't know anything about this guy other than the fact that I saw a clip of him talking about me in the past.
Oh. Yeah.
Why would I? He's a fucking
Makes
nobody.
sense.
And so, yeah, it's irrelevant. Like, yeah, why would I even think about this? And so, anyway, people are crying. Isn't your platform dying? Meanwhile, Asmon gets thanks to your viewers. Sad. Yeah, it really is sad, bro. It really is. People like this. And I'm going to tell you guys, there is a huge economy on Twitter for people hoping and begging and praying, please, 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 I hope somebody out there, because if you look at all these tweets that he's doing, right? And so this is what explains it. So let's look at some of the posts that he's made. 47 tweets, going live, another one, 22 likes. The most popular post that you've made recently is the one that's about me.
So he has to farm Asmongold to get anyone looking at him. Nice.
That's it. And that's the reason why all these people do that. To be fair, he did have one pop-off. He did. He had one good pop-off tweet. Good for you, buddy. Great for you. We didn't kill enough Nazis. This is obviously about Alligator Alcatraz. So this is another person, this is another example of the empathetic views of these people that constantly try to advocate for empathy and seeing other people as people and not dehumanizing other groups of people like immigrants while they simultaneously advocate for killing you, for protecting your borders, and categorically decide that all of your fans are terrible dog shit people.
Of course. Everyone that's not on my side is my enemy and has to die. That's their opinion. Congratulations, you are a Nazi. I mean, these people are so stupid, they don't even realize that they are the bad guys.
Isn't that sad? This is why I never give these people any degree of sympathy, And this is why I'm mean to them. It's because these people are awful. They're bullies, they're rude, they're nasty people, and most importantly, they're not effective and they're losers. They are. They're just losers. Like, again, and I think they shouldn't even really be taken seriously. The only reason I talk about them is because I think it's funny.
That was nice. That was really good. Yeah, and he's right. I mean, why be nice to people who want to kill you? Doesn't make any sense. Fuck these people. Fuck them all. I hate them. And let's get to the next thing. This is how I want to live. Oh, this is every man's dream house. You see that? It's so great. This is awesome. I would love to.
My dad's not
live
able to
that.
get around very easily.
I would love to live like that. It's so good. I love it. A friend of mine kind of lives like that. He owns a ranch. Man, I have seen his house. Man, the guy has a pool and everything, and yes, I'm kind of jealous, kind of, but not really. I'm really happy for him that he has it because why wouldn't I? It's great. It's just I want to. um, I gonna go take a piss quickly and leave you with a little bit of music, and then we watch the next video. Because why not? And I'm very obviously back. And let's see what Earthman is up to in the past days. I haven't watched his stream in a while.
And so I had to make sure that I took him to a doctor's appointment, and this was a very important appointment he had to be at, so I had to take the entire day off for that doctor's appointment. And so at previously, like, he had mentioned that he was like sick, and, you know, he didn't really feel that great, etc. And so we just went up there and we did that the day before yesterday. And you know, he was talking to them about it, and you know, basically he went and he said that, you know, like, he's talking to the doctor, or not doctor, it was like a physician's assistant or something, because he needed to get a prescription for like an air condenser so he can walk around without having to carry around like the fucking oxygen machine, right?
Oh Jesus, that sounds bad.
Which is what I've had to do for him as well. Like, that's why I had to go with him, is to make sure I could do all that. And so anyway, we did all that on Monday. Is he okay? I'm gonna find, like, probably yes. That's, you know, I'll begin with
Probably. So maybe not.
that. Probably yes. He is in surgery, as far as I know, either right now or he's going to be in surgery very soon, right? It's happening this morning, this afternoon, and so that's what.
Surgery at his father's age, that's bad. His father's in his 70s, when I remember correctly. So yeah, that's really bad. You don't want to go to surgery at that old. My mother had my mother's around the same age, and she had surgery a couple of weeks ago, and well, yeah, now she something her knee. I think she got something replaced in her knee, and yeah, she has problems walking. I mean, she had problems walking before, but you know, hopefully that will get better with physiotherapy, but we will see.
It's going to be. And so it's not super complicated, but yeah, that's currently what's happening right now. And so yeah, that's happening. And so let's go ahead and let's see how we get there. And so this is what happened. This is why I was gone. So he tells the doctor, or the woman there, that, you know, he his shit was like a really bright color, like not dark at all. And she says, well, that doesn't sound good. I'm going to have you do a couple of extra labs and things like that in order to make sure that everything's working okay. And so anyway...
everything is not working okay. Because that's not how your shit should look.
Anybody who knows anything, that's not good? No, it turns out it wasn't. And so we do the labs. I get home, and you know, like, I'm like, all right, well, I'll see you later. I mean, I got home, like, my day, whenever I take a day off, it's not a day off. Like, I'm infinitely more busy than my days streaming. Like, today is my day off. And so anyway, all that happened, and so that's bad, actually, yes. And so basically, we're at the lab, and I take him home, and that's it, and that's all it is. So I'm like, all right, well, all's well that ends well, right? I'm like, okay, things are fine. So the night before last, like, I guess, so not like last night, but the night before last night, I download Donkey Kong because, like, the new game came out, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to play this new game tomorrow. And I told my dad, I'm like, I'm going to be busy pretty much all tomorrow because I want to play this game, and I'll probably be over, like, late at night, right? And so this is what happened. Liver issues can cause this. Well, we're getting to that. And so my dad calls me in the morning, and he says, this is like, he calls me like 12:20, and he's like, hey. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, I don't want you to freak out because you always fucking freak out. Imagine how I feel. But the doctor called, and they said I have acute liver failure. And I said, what the fuck? And he said,
shit.
Yep. And he's like, I'm like, I go to him, I ask him, I say, well, are you cooked? He's like, am I, what he's like, what do you mean by that? Am I dead? I'm like, yeah, are you dead? He's like, I don't know, let's find out. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, so.
Just guys being dudes. That's basically what's happening here. Guys being dudes. Oh yeah, I might be dead. We will see. Yeah. Gotta get to the doctor. Let's see what he says. This is typical man behavior.
I go and I drive down there. No, because I didn't know what to say. I was just like, oh, wait, what? What the fuck? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And so I'm like, okay, fine. And so I immediately get up and I drive over to his house and we take him, because they told him, they said, you know, like basically the level that he was at, you know, it was like 120 or something like that. That's where you're supposed to be. And he was at like 2,000. So like that's a little bit higher than average. So they said like,
Jesus Christ. More than 10 times. Wow. That's over 20 times. Jesus. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, I would assume that's bad. I would say so, yeah.
like, hey, listen, man, you've got to go down to the emergency room because your shit's fucked, right? And so I basically come over and, you know, obviously, you know, like very rarely, but, you know, it was a bit emotional because, like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I had no idea what was going to happen. And, you know, I mean, like, you know, because he tell me, like, he's like, you know, he thought, he said, well, drinking Jim Beam, a bottle of Jim Beam every night, you know, I knew that would catch up to me. And I'm like, well, we'll see what happens. And so basically, we go to the emergency room. It's cold as fuck. This is yesterday, right? And every night, yeah, well, not every night. I mean, sometimes he'd drink more than that, probably. But yeah, in a general sense, that's about right. And every night, yeah, it wouldn't help. Well, here's the ironic thing. It had nothing to do with it.
Of course not.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing. Him doing that for 40 years didn't have anything to do with it.
Of course not.
Yeah. And so anyway, we go to the emergency room and they run tests, and obviously, like, at this point, you know, they're like, yeah, he's getting admitted for sure as soon as they saw his lab work. And so they do an ultrasound, and he comes back out of the ultrasound, and he's like, yep, gallbladder's full of rocks. And I'm like, well, are they going to get the rocks out? He says, I think, right? I'm not sure, right? But, like, that's basically it. And so apparently there was a gallbladder stone that had been obstructing his liver. And
Oh boy, this is horrible. Oh, you might not, maybe you can see, but I'm kind of cringing. Like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Like, oh my God. If it's just, well, it's full of, when you say full of stone, is it just one big one or multiple? My immediate reaction was it's multiples. But now, after they said one big one, it might be only one big one. I don't know.
And because of that, it caused his, what do you call it? It caused his liver to overfunction. And so that's really kind of what happened. And smoked for 80 years. Yeah, exactly. That's not the worst then. So right now they're removing that. He's not sure, like, I don't think they're even sure right now if they're going to have to remove just the obstruction or the entire gallbladder.
Oh.
You know, obviously, like, he was lamenting. We were sitting in the room lamenting, like, well, man, are we going to be able to get hamburgers anymore? This is I'm like, yeah, it says on the internet that you can't eat pizza. He's like, ah, fuck. And I'm like, guess what it says? Yeah, get ready for this one. He says, what? I'm like, ice cream. He says, ah, fuck. And I'm like, yeah, so he's pissed off. Yeah, the important questions. And so no pizza. Now he can eat.
But that's typical man behavior. It's so typical for men. We are all the same. We are dying. We might get saved. Okay, when I get saved, how does my life look like? Oh shit, better die. That stuff is so man-coded. It's great.
Need a little bit of it, so we'll see what happens, right? And so he's sitting in the emergency room, and he's like, well, you know, all those people that said that you killed your mom, now they can say that you killed me too. And I'm like, yeah, maybe, but hopefully not yet.
This is so good. This is so good. This is so great. I love. Oh, this is the funniest shit ever. Oh, this is amazing.
And I'm just like, okay, that's great. And so anyway, Jesus Christ. And so that was pretty much my day yesterday. And I was with him until like 7 or 8 in the morning. And yeah, I was not in the morning, sorry, at night. And then I went home, I went back to his house. I did some shit at his house. I'm trying to like all the photos that we have. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be real. Like, this is just like honest, just like this is me. This shit scared the fuck out of me, man. Like, I was actually scared. It's the first time I thought in a long time he was gonna be dead, right? Ever since like the 4th pneumonia 2 years ago, I thought he was dead. I'm gonna be totally fucking honest,
Yeah.
right? And so like that was.
I know that feeling from my grandma. I was expecting her to die for 20 years. Each summer I was like, yep, she won't make it because her health was bad and the heat, the massive heat. Like, for the people who don't know, summer in Germany in the past, well, not the past 2 years, but before that, for about 30 years, the summers in Germany were like Texas. Same temperatures. Exactly the same. And not a lot of rain. At least not in the summer. It was really, really hot. Now, the last 2 summers were really, really cold and wet. This summer is turning very wet and not very warm. Or at least not hot. We have some hot days, but not that much. And yeah, I know that. I know that. That. I know that feeling. 100%. Feels bad. Feels really bad.
It done like acute liver failure, like, and also like, by the way, we're not out of the woods, right? I mean, shit could still go wrong, but at the same time, it looks like, you know, the prognosis is relatively optimistic. I would say it is optimistic. And so scary shit. Exactly. So like that scared the fucking shit out of me. And it didn't even really like, I like scared is like the secondary emotion. Guilt actually was the primary emotion, which you guys know me. That's a very, very rare thing to hear. And the reason why is like my dad had asked me, you know, multiple times, like over the years, to like kind of get a lot of the photos and everything that we've had, you know, his family photos, like get them all digitized so he can like organize them and plan all that out. And so I felt really guilty because I thought to myself, the first thing I thought of, I said, I never did that, right? I hadn't done it. Well, I had done a little bit of it, but like not enough. And so like last night I was at my dad's house probably till almost midnight, just getting all that done. I'm going to hopefully get all of it done, you know, as like kind of a present for him whenever he gets back. Right. And so that's the plan. Do it then. Yeah. And so that's what I was doing.
Yeah, that sounds nice. You know, a nice thing to do for your father or anyone actually. Yeah, that sounds nice, you know, when he comes out of the hospital here. All done.
And so that's really it. And why did they not find this on his last visit? It seems like they did not do a good job this time. No, it's because like basically, I don't like. I mean, I'm not a fucking doctor, right? I have no idea. But I think that like a gallbladder stone like dislodged or came down, and it began obstructing his liver. And ironically, he found this out when he was eating liver, because he ate like fried liver, and he said it made him sick. And so and that's kind of what would happen. The doctors wouldn't have missed it. Well, I'm not really sure, right? But like that's kind of what happened. And it's rapid onset. Well, I have no idea, right? How much are the medical bills? I have no idea at all. I have no clue what.
Yeah, and he also doesn't care. To be fair, Asmongold doesn't have to care about the medical bills because he rich as fuck, you know. So he doesn't need to care. That's why he doesn't.
One bit. And so yeah, that's it. That might explain if he complains about real bad heartburn. No, he had no other symptoms. He has no other symptoms at all except for he had like a little. He was like not really like super. Actually, I think maybe he did say he had heartburn. I don't remember actually. Like I'm not really the doctor, and so yeah, that was it. And gallstones are often asymptomatic. They could have easily missed it. Yeah, definitely. And so yeah.
Yeah, they're asymptomatic if until something happens. Like in this case, they can be there and don't do anything bad. They are just there. And then they get loose, and then things happen. Yeah, a lot of things that work like that. That's not surprising at all.
Liver can cause vitamin A toxicity. Yeah, well, they're trying to fix it. They're getting it done right now, and so that's pretty much what's going to happen. And most are going to remove the gallbladder. This happens in one day. Yeah, no, I know. I'm not like my stress levels right. Like, just so you guys know, like kind of the way that like my brain works and like the way that I think, is that I usually like my stress. Like I whenever I'm in a stressful situation, I can act with like complete precision, but then after it, I collapse. Like I'm fine doing it, and like I'm still in that adrenaline stress mode right now, so I'm locked in. But the moment like this is finished, like I'm just fucking like I'm out of it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. Aftershock. Yeah, exactly. And so that was that. Yeah, toggle composure. Exactly. And so I just try to lock in, and that's what I did yesterday, etc. And so I'm still.
Yeah, I'm the same. I deal with shit, and I deal with it, until I'm physically collapse. I get physically ill. I'm the same. I just push myself to the maximum I can go to, and then my body says, "Oh, fuck you," and then I get fucked up.
Kind of in that mode today myself, and so yeah, it's dark humor. I'm saying that. Oh, I mean, like he's made. Look, the kind of jokes that he makes about stuff is just like if you think I'm bad. Oh my, there's a reason why every time he calls on the phone, I'm like, I'm ready, bro. Like I'm ready for that shit. Because like the kind of shit that he said Tanky at IRL. Do you remember one time he said that a homeless kid, couldn't even buy a pair of shoes to take the laces to hang himself with?
That's funny.
Who says this? Who says this? And so anyway, like, Jesus Christ, yeah, what is this? And it's just a conversation. And so anyway, very stressful. Sorry you're going through it. That's just the way it is. This is the way it is, and that's life, right? And so that's why I wasn't on yesterday, and that's why I wasn't on the day before. And like he and I, like our outlook on it is that we really feel like we got incredibly lucky with this situation. And the reason why I say that is because basically, like we just happened to get that test the day before. And like there were like 3 things that just happened to happen. Like even us getting the appointment the day before yesterday was like kind of an oddity because like somebody had to take an extra shift to make sure that he got that appointment. So like there were like 3 stars that aligned that made sure that we caught this as early as possible.
Yep. Sometimes you are really lucky. Sometimes you are not. Like I am with my neck injury. Let's not talk about that right now.
Because like as far as we know, like we had no idea this was even a thing, right? We didn't even know. And so yeah, that's what it was. And so that's pretty much that's what happened. And yeah, that's pretty much how we feel. And yeah, does he go to the VA? Yeah, he said he wants to go to the VA, not because he needs the money, but because he wants to fuck them out of the money.
Man. Yeah, fuck those people.
That's his plan. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. And so that's currently what his plan is. So, yeah, he's going to try to get, involved with maybe, I don't know, he said like Disabled Veterans America or something like that. And really try to make sure that he's locked into some stuff. And that's it. Do you think prayers are working? I mean, I'll tell you guys this. It's a, I'll say this. It don't hurt. It don't hurt, and he appreciates everybody that's positive, right? Because I'll show him positive messages, etc. If I see him, and so absolutely, he appreciates it. I mean, I don't know if prayers. I pray for my mom all the time. I don't even believe in God, but I figure if it's a 1% chance, how many 1% mounts do I have, right? And so, I do the same thing. And maybe it's stupid, but I guess I'm stupid, and so that's the way I feel. And your mom was religious? Is your dad? Nah, he's like vaguely spiritual, but not really. So yeah, that's basically it. And what war did he serve in? He was in Vietnam. And so yeah. And are you okay with physical get well cards, the PO box? No, that's okay. That's totally all right. I appreciate the good faith and everything, but no, that's totally all right. And really, and so yeah, that's pretty much where things stand right now.
And people hate Asmongold in his community. People are so wholesome, right? And people hate these people. You know who the bad people are if you look into it. And don't even need to look deep into it.
And obviously, I've just been so tired dealing with everything. It's been insane. And so my day has been fucking just totally just fried. And so that's it. And so that was a little weird for me to watch your stream and feel connection, but I'm not a connection kind of person. Wish you the best. No, yeah, I understand. It's it's a lot. And so, prayers to your dad. Hope everything works out for you. I mean, yeah. Did he ever talk about Vietnam? Yeah, he talks about it for about 3 hours a day. Yeah, about somewhere around there. And that's it. Glad for the awareness, 1% chances and below. Yeah, no, I think so. We got really lucky the fact that we caught this early and everything, and I was really happy about that and very glad and lucky. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. And, man, I had a crazy fucking day yesterday. I tried not to, fucking doom and gloom it and stress it out, but man, that shit really bothered me. And yeah, that's it. And I don't really know what else to say. I mean, fuck, that's been pretty much where I'm at. And yeah, and I'll read a few comments and read a few questions and etc. My life is also falling apart, but seeing you handle problems is how I want to be helping. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I mean, I try to do, the thing is that, I mean, I have family members and, they reached out, talked to them yesterday and, everything, but it was really, I'm pretty much, I don't have any family here in Texas at least, right? And so it's hard dealing with everything myself, right? And then I also try to stream every day too, and that's on top of any other obligations I have. And so it's really a lot for me to do. But at the end of the day, that's just that's life, right? And that's just the way it is. And so yeah, there you go. You don't share any of his personal stuff with us. I'm sure a lot of folks get it. Well, I figured I'd just tell the story. I thought it was an interesting story, number one. And, number two, I thought it was kind of funny, right? Some parts of it are funny. So there it is. And we'll see what happens, man. And, yeah. And it's definitely overwhelming to have to deal with all of it. Yeah, I try my best. And
oh, yeah, shit like this is, of course, overwhelming. If a person, that you're close to is, sick, of course it gets to you. That's normal. It's the way you deal with it that's important. And I think he deals well with it, at least at this point. Back in the day, not so much. But now, yeah, it looks good.
Obviously, everybody makes mistakes, but I try to make as few as possible. That's really the way I try to look at it and see it myself. And yeah, you have to stream every day. Eventually you come back. No, I know I don't have to stream every day. I'm fully aware of that. I don't really. The reason I like streaming, and I enjoy it, and it's something that I do just for a distraction, and so like I don't have a problem with streaming at all. But basically, I just wanted to let you guys know pretty much like that's what's going on. That's it, and yeah, and I'll have to go. Yeah. Persevered through a lot of crazy shit. I admire the strength. It takes a lot. Anybody can persevere through what I've persevered through. All they have to do is be put through it. The reality is that people overcome insurmountable odds and terrible things all the time.
Yes.
And the reality is that whenever they're put in front of it, you just have to live through it.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that's it. I mean, there's no like fucking magic gene of tenacity. The fact is that you just deal with what life puts in front of you.
Yes.
That's it. And
He's 100% right. You go through it. Shit happens. You go through it. No matter what it takes, you just go through it. And then you are hopefully not worse off after it. That should be the goal. Not being worse off after the shit is dealt with. Not being better, not being worse off. That's the goal.
doesn't matter whether it's easy or hard or happy or sad or good or bad. It doesn't make a difference. You just have to keep going no matter what.
Yes.
That's
right.
it. And it doesn't, like, that's all there is to it. I mean, like, and people do that every day. That's why you're alive, is because for millions of years, your ancestors did the same thing.
Yeah.
And so just keep going. It doesn't matter. Eventually, you'll die anyway, and then then you'll have time to give up. But until then, keep going. That's the way I see it. And, yeah, someone else is in control? Yeah, for sure. And true evolution? No, I'm just being honest, right? And that's how I see it. And, you know, I try to just take whatever it is, and I deal with it. And, yeah, it's that simple. And Daniela, yeah, I mean, like, and I try to do as much of that as I can. And, yeah. Take care of my 83-year-old dad. Had a shoulder replacement first of the year. Yeah, it fucking sucks, man. I'm sure it does. 51% population. We appreciate you being through all this.
Wait, you can replace a shoulder? Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, like, obviously, I like streaming, as I said, and, you know, it's fun for me to do. So it's not like I'm, you know, like, I'm like, oh, man, I have to stream today. It's like I wanted to stream today. Like, my dad even was like, yesterday, he's like, if you want to stream for a bit before we go, I'm like, nah, man, I'm kind of stressed. I'm like, nah, I'm like, yeah, this is like, I'm kind of worried about, like, the whole thing about you have, like, the acute liver failure thing. So, like, why don't we just go up to the emergency room now? How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
So, yeah, that's what it was. That's so nice of him. Yeah, exactly. And he's too chill. No, he got it. Like, they even told him that. He's like, ah, fuck. Well, can I wait till Monday? She's like, no, you can't wait. Can you just go up there? And he's like, okay. And so that's what it was. And yeah, kind of hard to concentrate. Yeah, that's basically it. And I don't like I don't like kind of leaving people off on a cliffhanger, right? You know, because I hate whenever people, like, they'll tell me, like, oh, we have to talk or something like that. Like, I hate the anxiety that creates. And so I almost never tell stories or, you know, give people that perspective, because it just makes me uncomfortable. And so I don't want to make other people uncomfortable, because that's the way it makes me feel.
I can totally see why. Yeah, I agree with him here. Again, like so often, my idol when it comes to streaming.
And so, yeah, no, so, I mean, hopefully things are going to be all right and everything. You know, I guess we're going to have to wait and find out. But that's where things stand, and that's where we're at. And so, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so that's what he was up to. Okay. Now we know. Now
a black
we
woman
know.
who moved from...
Shut up. Let's put me down here again. Let's do something that's not a react, shall we? So, we got some music going. And let's story time. Maybe the music is a little too loud. Should be okay. Okay. Yeah. Story time. Let's talk about how my grandfather on my mother's side got through World War II. Oh boy. Interesting. He got drafted when he was 17. He was the only one, spoiler alert, he was the only one in his village who he refused to be blessed by the priest. Then the priest had a stern talking to him. Guess what? Of all the men that went to war out of his village, he was the only one that survived. The only one. I don't know how many men there were, sent. But he was the only one that survived. Then, funny story. He has had his basic training in France. It already, of course, was conquered by Germany. And their drill sergeant was a real asshole. Like a real asshole. They really didn't like him. So they tied him up to his bed. And, and the next morning, when they had appel, I don't remember how it's called in English. When they have to assemble in the morning, the guy couldn't assemble because he was tied to his bed. And Jesus, that guy got a stern talking to him. Oh, that was a nice story. I mean, not very detailed, but it was nice. Then he went to the East Front, fighting the Russians. And funny thing is, what he said is that the Russians in the war were cleaner than the French after they have been conquered. I think that's funny as hell. I mean, how can people that are literally in the war zone, be cleaner than people that live in peace? I mean, how? This is so stupid. And now we're coming to the part how he survived. He got captured. He was a prisoner of war. And, back in the day, prisoners of war got rations. They got 1 pack of cigarettes, I think per day or week, but I think it's per week. And they got 1 slice of chocolate per day, when I remember correctly. And he traded his cigarettes for the chocolates of other soldiers. That's how he survived. And all the smokers, they all died. They all died. All of them. And he survived by eating their chocolate that they bought from them. And then, after the war, he started smoking. Personally, I think he started smoking because of guilt. Because he survived and the smokers died, so he started to smoke himself. And he got heart disease, well, heart problem because of his smoking after 40 years. He didn't tell anyone, and the doctor didn't tell anyone, and he lived with that onward for 20 or 30 more years, something like that, before he died. And yeah, that's how my grandfather survived World War Two. He wasn't that old. He wasn't even born in World War One. So yeah, World War II story of my grandfather. What else to talk about? I think I can talk about why I didn't felt sad when my grandmother died. Might sound, oh my god, what a bad person. There's a reason for that. And the reason is that I saw my grandmother die for about 20 years. That's the reason. So I didn't need to say goodbye or anything, because I basically did that for 20 years every time I saw her. And it was bad. It started when I was, I think, 16 or 17, something like that. And she had a stroke, which made it impossible for her to do anything in the household, and her health overall was not that great anymore. And back then the summers were really hot and dry, and well, that continued for over 20 years. And every summer I was like, okay, this summer it's gonna be so hot. It's already so hot in the spring. She won't make it. And it was every summer for at least 20 years. And that really fucked me up. At least 20 years. About 20 years. About 20 years. And it really fucked me up. And she had... right before my grandfather died, she had 1 or 2 more strokes. And really needed help after that. And then she had a couple of years later, I think, even more strokes, and to the point where she only could move one arm anymore, and mentally she wasn't there anymore, and it was a downward spiral from there on. And yes, that was also the time into the 20 years where, you know, every summer I was like, yeah, she won't make it. It's too hot. And that really fucked with me. Of course it did. I mean, it would with everyone. And so then, about 10 years ago, something like that, she died. And I didn't feel sad, because I have seen her dying for 20 years, and I was relieved that she didn't have to suffer anymore. Because I think she's at least partly suffered, because of, if you can't move and you have to rely on other people, and you know, it's hard. And my grandmother wasn't really the kindest woman. I remember stories that my mother told me that my grandma was yelling at her like a fury, for not doing the dishes because my mother had back pain. By the way, my mother has heavy scoliosis, like heavy. I have a little bit of scoliosis. I'm fine, but my mother, it's really bad. It's really, really, really bad. She can barely move, and she should have been had a disabled passport for over 40 years by now. She was told that she should get one. She didn't because she thought that, oh yeah, I can't do all the jobs anymore. Also, the doctors already when she was young told her that she shouldn't lift heavy. What did she do? She worked in a store and was carrying heavy stuff around. Exactly what she wasn't allowed to do by the doctors, but she did it anyway because, oh, you have to make money. This is this typical, oh, you have to do and not counting in your health. That's always a problem with people, but especially her. It's horrible. But she also doesn't let it down for other people, like Side Tension, or even a completely new video here. I have back problems, like really bad. Like I have a back injury for about a year now. Neck injury, and it's bad. It's really bad. Last year, it was before it was officially diagnosed, and I was told to not do things like, you know, lift heavy and things like that. It was really bad. It gotten way better, but it's not good. I'm 3 weeks ago, about that, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, more like 3 weeks ago, I finally was able to walk for more than 1 hour straight. I tested it out, it worked fine. It wasn't perfect, there was still a little bit of pain. But it worked out okay. So I was like, okay, this is good. I'm doing progress. Well, 2 weeks ago, I had a dentist appointment. I went there with my bicycle. Huge mistake. It was about a 50-minute ride each way, and that completely fucked me up. The day after, I was dizzy. I had a little bit of a headache. I had problems walking straight, because that's also that's right the area where, you know, it pinches the nerves that are important for all these things. Last year it was so bad when I looked down with my eyes even more, my vision flickered. That's how bad it was. And you know, the thing is, the doctors don't tell you all the things. But if you then, you know, get to know all those things, you're like, oh, so that's why. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. So, coming to, it was this week, I got a call from my mother. She wants to get her sofa into the trash. And she's living on this, well, in Germany it's the first floor. Everyone else in America it's the second. Numbers are a little different here. And, you know, they have to be getting down to the stairs. And she asked me if I can help. I said no. She didn't like that. I could hear she didn't like that. And she tried to guilt me into, you know, doing it anyway. But I know if I do that, my neck injury would be way, way worse again. And I can't risk that. I simply can't. You know, things like that are problems that get you into a wheelchair. And I don't want to risk, you know, getting into a fucking wheelchair because I do things, you know, for other people that makes them, you know, like me more, but get me in trouble. So yeah, she tried to guilt me. It wasn't the first time people tried that. I mean, I was always the scapegoat for, you know, things have to be done. Ask him. I remember, that's not my first injury. I had, and would say I still have, an injury on my lower back. I got that originally in 2011. At the end of 2011, I got that. Wasn't diagnosed back then. Then in 2012 it got diagnosed and all that stuff. And also in that year, her long-term boyfriend asked me if I can help move someone, you know, from one place to another, you know, moving from one apartment to the other. And I said no, and he tried to trip me too, you know. That's all they do. They try to guilt trip you. So he wanted me. I mean, the thing was that might have been before I was diagnosed. So I was like, I have back pain. A really bad back pain. It wasn't back injury. It almost got me into a wheelchair, like literally. I remember one night it was so bad. I couldn't feel my left leg. It felt like it was, you know, asleep. Like, you all know that, you know, if you lay on your arm, then it falls asleep and things like that. That's how my leg felt. And it felt like that for a long time, combined with massive pain. And then I thought, yeah, okay, I go to hospital. The next hospital is walk-wise 10 minutes away. So I got out and started walking. You ever had a leg falling asleep? Walking with that is hard. And now walk with that for a couple of kilometers. For, let's say, a mile. That's not good. That doesn't really work out. And the absolute retarded thing, you know, when I was basically at the hospital, it got better. So I was like, yeah, nah, I don't really need to go to the hospital anymore, and just took a longer walk back home. Giant mistake. Giant mistake. Should have gone to the hospital immediately. Giant mistake. But I went to the exact same hospital later because I was in so much pain I just couldn't take it anymore. But that was days or weeks later, and they diagnosed me with a pinched nerve. I mean, it is a pinched nerve, but they didn't tell me or did diagnose it wrongly for what it was, what the cause was. So I was like, yeah, it's pinched nerve, it will go away, right? No. I mean, it can go away, but you have to do some things for that, like doing a little bit of exercise. Worst case scenario, you have to get surgery. So something, and weeks later I was at a specialist for orthopedics, and he basically diagnosed me within 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I was walking around with that for months at that point, and he diagnosed me within 2 minutes. Was awesome because he was correct, but he had to send me to the I had to get an MRT, MRI. I think in English it's MRI. In German it's MRT. You know, getting into the tube and getting scanned. And that's the standard here, because doctors can diagnose you according to their experience and what the books say. You have to have been scanned in the tube. Why? Most likely money. It's most likely a money laundering thing. That's what I think. And so I had a lot of MRTs in the past 15 years. Like that was the first one. Then there was definitely another one for my shoulder. Then was another 1 or 2 for my shoulder. Then another one for the lower back again a couple of years ago. And then I had 2 more for my neck. I think that's it. That's a lot. That's a lot of money also. I mean, I didn't pay it. Of course not. But, you know, that's a lot of money. And so after a while, after I was diagnosed, it got better, but because I lost a lot of weight, because I started doing more and more sport. I also did sport that wasn't good for me, like jogging. Jogging is really bad if you have a back injury, and with back injury I mean the spine. That was really bad. I remember in the height of it was really bad. I was only able to be in the bed for 3 hours per night. The rest of the other 21 hours of the day, I was busy finding positions to be in that are less painful. Not finding positions where I don't feel pain. Those didn't exist. Positions where I felt the least less pain, and it was almost impossible. I was moving around all the time. It was hell, and on top of that, on so little sleep, it was really bad. And then I got really strong painkillers, like really strong, and I finally was able to sleep and walk and sit. Oh Jesus. I even got painkillers with same strength here because of my neck injury. Yes, that was that bad. I remember it was, my neck injury was so bad last year. Like I can't work anything. Like anything. I'm not talking about, you know, hard work. Like just little things. I can't do shit. That's really bad. So my work is on pause since then, and it looks bad because I can't really do anything. Like I can't ride my bicycles. Well, I can for a couple of minutes, and then I have to stop because the vibrations of driving, and you know, the unevenness of the ground that, you know, gets into the neck. I have the same problem when driving with a bus or a car. So basically the only thing I can do without pain is walk, and even that only a certain amount of time before it gets dangerous. So I'm done. I'm really done. And that's after finding out I really love hiking. I found that out a couple years ago, and now I would love to hike for 4 to 5 hours a day. Well, not every day, of course, but when I hike, you know, and a couple of weeks, I have a lot of paths here that are ideal for hiking. Or at least walks. And I can't because my neck. Which also plays into I can't really lose weight, which I would love to. But it's really, really hard if you have completely do it over food and being at home all the time, like the need I am, sadly, it's really hard to lose weight because I can't do the things that I would like to do, what I did in the past to lose weight, like jogging, cycling, lifting weights. Well, I wouldn't lift weights anymore because my shoulders are done. Guess what? My shoulders are done. Wanna go into that? I think that's for another video. But yeah, am I rambling? I think that's enough, right? The old man has health issues. Oh Jesus, yeah, it's bad. But you know, we will see what the next doctor says. I have an appointment next month with an actual professor at the hospital here, and let's see what he says, because it looks bad. I might be able to get injections for my neck injury, but the doctor already said it might be that, you know, the things that get injected might press against the nerve, and then I'm paralyzed for a while, which is not ideal, but I would prefer to be paralyzed for a while over not being able to do anything. Another alternative way would be getting surgery, but I don't want to get surgery on my spine, on my neck. Worst case scenario, I'm paralyzed from the neck down. I would rather not have that. I would rather live on with the problems than being paralyzed, or having a risk of being paralyzed, you know? Because I can deal with the problems, but I don't want to, you know, life is all about taking risk and evaluating risk, and I think getting surgery on my spine and my neck is too big of a risk for what it might do, you know. And that's the stories. Why is this better? I think it is. Okay. Shall we? What do we do? Let's do an Atozi video.
This YouTuber is being sued.
Another YouTuber getting sued. Oh, who could have guessed? Who could have guessed?
By In-N-Out for millions of dollars after harassing customers for content. And I mean, it's safe to say we have reached new levels of stupidity with how dumb of a prank this is, because it is just begging for a lawsuit.
What the f is this, bro?
Oh my gosh. Is that a condom?
I start chewing and I'm thinking it's like a piece of lettuce, and I hope you're not gonna give him a condom sandwich, because that's not okay.
Would you like a condom with your order, sir?
Come on, bro. It's not funny. It's not funny. I literally bit into that. Like, I think I have a piece stuck in my... You see it right here?
Here, do it again.
What were they thinking with this? Now, obviously, I know
This is so stupid. I don't even know what to say. This is really stupid.
know the internet has a long history of awful and even harmful prank videos, but this one feels honestly uniquely stupid because while yes,
Really?
the outcome is pretty devastating, you know, being sued for millions of dollars, but it's just kind of shocking in how insanely predictable this outcome was. But today we're talking about
Well, yeah.
Brian Arnott, a YouTuber, prankster, and someone who thought impersonating fast food workers to harass customers would result in anything else but a massive lawsuit, especially when you're targeting In-N-Out, a chain known for being very protective with their brand, and they've also been known for suing YouTube creators in the past. Now, Brian has a lot of reach, having over 600,000 followers between YouTube and Instagram, but apparently with great reach comes great responsibility, especially when it comes to trying to make viral content. And Brian, I guess, is just the perfect example of what happens when you don't take that responsibility too seriously. So let's rewind to Easter Sunday of this year. Brian and his friends, they had this idea to make a video of them pranking an In-N-Out customer. Brian would dress up as an employee while his friends filmed and occasionally jumped into roleplay as other customers, doing things like picking fights or pretending to find bugs in their food, all in front of real paying customers. Now, if you
Yeah, I can see why he got sued. Totally. Yeah. 100%. Absolutely.
aren't aware, In-N-Out is open every day of the year except for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. So by going on Easter, Brian knew that there would be no actual employees around to interfere with him. So essentially, he could make it look like it was open and no one would stop him from doing this prank. So he actually managed to get a real set of customers coming in thinking they could actually get burgers even though they were closed. So it's pretty clear that Brian put a lot of thought into the setup of this video, and it's even more clear that that's about where the thinking stopped, because this alone is enough to result into a lawsuit, clearly,
Yeah.
as it has, and he hasn't even done anything yet, which, by the way, he does a lot. So this video was uploaded to Brian's channel on April 25th. Eventually, In-N-Out became aware of it, and on May 2nd, they sent Brian a cease and desist, asking him to delete the video. Now, obviously, I wouldn't be making this video if Brian just complied and deleted it.
Yeah, of course he did something stupid after that. Of course. I mean, what would I really expect anything less than something stupid?
Instead, Brian made this video unlisted. And there's one crucial difference between unlisting and deleting a video. Deleted videos cannot be viewed, but unlisted videos, however, can be. All you need is the link. And that's pretty huge because from the legal standpoint, it shows that Arnott didn't comply with In-N-Out's cease and desist. They told him back in May to take it all down. Instead, he left it up. But also, huge shout out to 15 Minutes of Shame, who actually found the link of this unlisted video, because it was actually
Great.
someone in his comment section that raised the flag about this. So leaving it up, even if it's hidden, it can still be seen by the court as willful defiance. And
Yep.
that can often lead to higher damages, especially in trademark and defamation cases. Basically, he didn't just ignore In-N-Out. He thought that he could outsmart them. And now that footage might end up being the most damning piece of evidence in the entire case.
My ex-girlfriend used to order that.
Yeah, dude.
She loved it.
Yeah, the feels like.
She cheated on me with my dad.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Sorry. It's just.
Because that's like holy.
Yeah, no, my bad. Just this thing's a little deep. Everything reminds me. My bad.
Can I get another number one, large, no onions with chopped peppers inside?
She would get.
Yeah. Oh, something. Also a black dude or something.
The peppers too.
No way, bro.
This poor guy having one of the most awkward experiences of his entire life, and for what? Some cringe prank video? Like, I genuinely can't believe videos like this are still being made. Like, who is this even for? To another, he said the In-N-Out was only serving gay people today as well. And then another highlight, I guess, is he had his friend pretend there was a cockroach in the bag.
Let me get a double, Brody, and then order fries.
Hey, there was a cockroach in my bag, bro.
A cockroach?
Yeah, like what's going on here?
I'm so sorry. We've had like a pretty bad cockroach problem this week.
This is kind of what I was talking about.
This week? That doesn't even make sense. If you have cockroaches, you have cockroaches. If you see them everywhere around, they are there for a while already.
When I said this feels special compared to other prank videos, because how do you even think that this wouldn't get you sued? And then to make things worse, later on he showed up and said, hey, we got a condom in our food.
He also said that he found a condom.
What the f, bro? I was eating my fries and I took a bite of the burger and I felt something like rubbery. What the f is this, bro?
Oh my gosh. Is Is that a condom?
I can start chewing and I'm thinking it's like a piece of lettuce, and I need free In-N-Out for the rest of the year, bro.
What the hell?
I hope you're not gonna give him a condom sandwich, because that's not okay.
Would you like a condom with your order, sir?
I mean, the only thing that's, I guess,
This is so dumb. What was he think? He should have never done that. Never wear the uniform of any company if you want to make a prank video or any video at all that could be seen as problematic by the company. And everything can be seen as problematic.
laughably stupid about this is that they thought they wouldn't get sued for this. There is something inherently funny about harassing random strangers in public and then getting sued for millions of dollars for doing so. And it's a complete skill issue because all he technically had to do was not wear an In-N-Out outfit and he wouldn't get sued like this. But of course, he just continues to riddle the video with some of the dumbest things you can possibly say.
You know, it's people like you that make me have to actually come clock in on a holiday. You know it's Easter Sunday?
Okay.
What can I get for you?
What does that mean, though? Did you?
Nah, I would love to be home with my family right now, but...
You don't have to work. You don't think I don't.
No, I'm just kidding. We're not open. I don't work here. It was just a joke. All In-N-Outs are closed on Easter Sunday.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. But that's not really how to, you know, approach a customer, right?
Well, I'm not an employee. I don't work here.
You have the hat, though.
I'm sorry. No, hey, I hope you have a great Easter. It was just a joke.
Okay, just be careful.
Yeah. You have a good one, though.
Okay.
Maybe you should have listened to that Be Careful, because see, even the
Man, that poor guy. That poor guy. And the thing is, it's not even a funny prank. It's not even funny. You know, I see more funny thing in shorts where dudes just, I don't, hit their best friends in the nuts. That's funnier than this shit.
this guy knows that it's probably a bad idea to pull stupid stunts like this. Like, what happened to the days when pranks were harmless and actually funny? You know, pranks that had a little bit of thought into them and that were slightly clever. This is just outright stupid. Because with this, the punchline is just trying to make someone look like a fool or embarrass someone in public. But in the end, In-N-Out is the only one who's making Brian look like a fool, as they are now coming for him for trademark infringement, business defamation, false designation of origin, and more. 5 counts in total, including a demand for jury trial. And before you think this is just a slap on the wrist, here's a quote from the lawsuit. By dressing as one of the plaintiff's associates, the defendant falsely represented himself to In-N-Out's customers and to the general public as one of plaintiff's authorized representatives, ensuring that his remarks, from the purely defamatory to the lewd, did not come across as mere jokes by some unaffiliated prankster, but instead reflected directly and negatively on In-N-Out. Translate.
Yes. Yeah, the translation is very clearly, he made the company look bad. Stop it.
You made us look gross while wearing our branding. See you in court. Then you have Arnie Winsiger, who is the chief legal and business officer for In-N-Out Burger, said, for over 7 decades, we've worked hard to create a welcoming and enjoyable experience for every customer who visit us. Recently, we have seen an increase in online media personalities who have chosen to play pranks or practical jokes that are designed to embarrass, humiliate, or upset our customers, their families, and our associates. These individuals have engaged in behavior that includes deception, trespassing, lewdness, and other actions that have been posted on social media for their personal and monetary gain at the expense of our customers and the In-N-Out Burger brand. By filing this lawsuit, we're putting all such individuals on notice that In-N-Out Burger will aggressively pursue all legal rights against these individuals going forward. So essentially, they effed around, and now they're in the find out part of the journey.
Good. Good. I like this. I always like when people get what they deserve, you know?
So she literally said that this lawsuit isn't just coming for Brian, but also to send a message to everyone else like him. They're using Brian as the person who did this, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to really make an example out of this guy so no one else does this, which is just absolute insane. It's safe to say that this dude really just went up and punted a hornet's nest with this one. But how did Brian respond to this very serious lawsuit? Did he lawyer up, release an apology, try to settle? Nah, he posted another video from his car while eating In-N-Out and a now privated response video. This dude went on to say, I'm not gonna sit here and act surprised. When I found out and I filmed the video, I kind of knew what kind of waters I was stepping into. I don't know how stupid you could possibly be, but then he says something even more stupid. I was aware of what I was getting into. I knew I was teetering the line a little bit, pushing my luck, and at the end of the day, I'm a grown-ass man. I understand your actions have consequences, so I'm not surprised. And just so we're clear, this isn't me admitting guilt or everything I'm reading, but if you saw the video, you saw the video. Dude,
That's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Why did you do that to me? This is so stupid.
I'm pretty sure that you just admitted that this whole thing wasn't an accident. This wasn't a misunderstanding. Yes. That is basically the worst thing you could ever say after you've been sued for millions of dollars. Who in their right mind would not try to lawyer up and find some sort of settlement here? Because that, dude, you are so clearly in the wrong here. All he can really do at this point is pray. So now, obviously, he's looking at a massive lawsuit plus a lifetime ban from all 400 In-N-Out locations. Then on top of that, they're also seeking all profits from the video and financial damages proven at trial. So keep in mind, this all could have been avoided if Brian just had listened to the original cease and desist by deleting the videos, destroying the props, and just moving on with his life. Instead, he just left the video unlisted like a complete moron. I'm just shocked that he unlisted it only as well, because obviously the lawyers have the link to that video. So if he unlists it, they can still see it because they have the link. Like, this is so stupid. And of course, on top of all this, they're also seeking punitive damages for damaging the brand's image. And since they're trying to go to trial with this, they could argue that all kinds of potential damages were received from this video. And as I mentioned earlier, they're not suing for one thing. They're suing for federal trademark infringement, false designation of origin, disparagement, business defamation, and trespassing. Each of those can carry their own statutory or actual damages. And when you combine all of those, you can easily end up in the 7-figure territory. Also, since he ignored the cease and desist and even posted a video eating In-N-Out while mocking the lawsuit, I mean, that level of defiance often leads to the courts awarding higher damages to punish this behavior, because clearly he doesn't care. So if they win, the court could easily award hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars in damages, especially if they can prove the video caused reputational or financial harm. And In-N-Out, they've been here before. In a 2017 case, they actually sued a prankster who walked into the restaurants pretending to be the CEO.
Online prankster is targeting...
Oh boy. How dumb can you be? This is ridiculous.
In-N-Out Burger.
And now In-N-Out is fighting back by taking legal action.
KCAL9's Rachel Kim is live in Van Nuys with reaction from customers about this prank. Rachel.
Yeah, Elsa and Jeff, In-N-Out says when that prankster walked into this In-N-Out earlier this month and pretended to be their boss, well, it wasn't very funny. In fact, they're now fighting to keep this man away from all their restaurants, and they want him to pay up big time.
That guy was named Cody. Wow. He made an employee prepare him burgers, told customers their food was garbage, and filmed the whole thing. In-N-Out sued him for $25,000 and gave him a restraining order.
Only? That's not a lot.
The same playbook. Moral of the story, they don't play around here. And Arnett isn't the only clown in this genre. And just to make things worse, he's already admitted guilt.
Are you guys familiar with the secret menu?
No.
Like the TikTok hacks and all that? It's some new gen stuff. If you want, the doggy style fries are half off right now.
What's doggy style?
It's just, it's real messy, let's put it like that. There's a lot of things on there.
This is so stupid. The thing is, it's not even funny. I think it's not even entertaining, it's just stupid. This is so dumb.
Try it? Yeah. You gonna try doggy style today? Okay.
Are you guys actually? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Nah, it's a joke.
So honestly, looking at the lawsuit,
an unfunny joke. Dad jokes are funnier by a mile.
In-N-Out has a very strong case here. So to repeat what I said in the beginning, Brian Arnett is a perfect example of what happens when a creator completely ignores the inherent responsibility that comes with having a following. Sometimes just a little bit of foresight could get you a very far way, or at least get you not being sued by In-N-Out. But hey, at least he didn't rob his friend while live streaming like this guy did, and then called the victim while in jail. He used that one phone call to beg them to tell the police that it wasn't that serious so they could be let out. So clearly this is a wild story I would recommend you guys checking out here. But other than that, subscribe if you're new, drop a like on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Everything he said, and we're gonna check that video out too. But I have to take a piss again.
These kick streamers.
Kick streamers. Oh god. Wait, I'm a kick streamer too. Oh shit. Oh shit, I'm done. Let me get some music going for you. And I'm back soon. Very soon. Wait, what? Oh boy. What is it? The measurement thingy says it's 30 degrees Celsius outside, but it doesn't feel like it at all. And we are doing some squats because I have to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. My very standard set number 12. And my share is dying again. And it's still dying. Give me a second. Fucking sheep share. I shouldn't have bought that thing. Shouldn't have bought that thing. Okay. Next video. Next Atos video. To be precise.
These kick streamers just got arrested on 5 different charges, including assault and battery, and this might be one of the dumbest crimes ever committed on a live stream, as
for now.
2 guys robbed their own roommate, vandalized their house, and then straight up assaulted them. Then while sitting in jail, they used their phone call to call the victim, who was live streaming, and began asking their chat for legal advice and begged the victim to tell police that it wasn't that serious.
Isn't it illegal to call your victim? That might be a further charge. I think I have heard something about that. That's the case in America. But I'm not sure.
I mean, this might be one of the dumbest series of events that I've covered in a long time. So meet the newest members of the Hall of Fame of dumbest influencers, Darius and Squeeze, who not only live streamed every crime they committed, but also tried to tamper with a witness from jail on a recorded line. Let's just set the scene. 2 kick streamers living inside of a chaotic
So it is illegal. Okay. Yeah, they really fucked up. They are really dumb, which isn't surprising to me. I mean, stupid people.
Content house, they decided it would be a great idea to stream themselves breaking into and robbing their roommate's truck. What could go wrong? So after pulling up beside it, they immediately started stealing everything that was inside of the bed of the truck. Then a bunch of cases of water and Gatorade later, they decided to go a step further and steal a bag that had been sitting inside of the truck. And that triggered the alarm of the truck to go off.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Put it in the trunk. Put the trunk in the trunk.
Wait, pop the trunk, pop the trunk. Pop the trunk, pop the trunk. Got it? Oh. Hey, pop the trunk! Grab him by the... Grab him by the...
This is so dumb.
One more thing.
And side tangent, never have plastic bottles in the sun. Never. Because the heat will make chemicals from the plastic go into the water. And every other liquid and food. Even food, yes. If you have a plastic box, have a sandwich in it, if you put that in the sun, chemicals will be released by the plastic that then goes into the sandwich. It's very much easier to be with liquids, but it happens with everything. That's one reason why you don't do it. Put them into microwaves and ovens. Not only because they melt, but also because, you know, chemicals.
One more. Go.
What a bunch of retards.
The content king is back!
IRL streaming is a fascinating social experiment, as it just rewards complete degeneracy. The dude is screaming that the content king is back after stealing from his friend. Notice, guys, is
content king? He didn't do anything. Well, anything that's worth being called content. But then I'm a React Andy, so...
no attempts to hide, just idiots snitching on themselves in 1080p. And you can tell that he thinks he's the funniest dude in the world. The whole thing plays out like they're trying to film some sort of low-budget parody of the Fast and Furious. Except the only thing that was fast about this was how quickly it turned into a police investigation. The stream had thousands of viewers, and yes, the whole thing is still online. So here's what they're currently facing. 1, burglary of a vehicle, because, you know, they literally broke into a car. 2, assault. More on that in a second. And 3, criminal mischief, because I guess 1 felony wasn't enough, not to mention all this happened in Texas, where they don't play around with stuff like that there. So now, one of them is facing up to 1.5 years in jail, while the other one's facing 2.5 years in jail. But buckle up, because that's just the beginning. So the guy whose stuff got jacked, yeah, he watched the whole thing unfold live on their streams. Like, imagine opening your housemate's stream and thinking, wait a minute, they're robbing my truck? We definitely live in some interesting times with an interesting set of problems for some people.
The problem of these people is they are stupid. That's the problem of these people. They are stupid.
Also, guys, go to MKM stream and tell him to unlock the door for me.
Dude.
Let's see what these... Okay. There's a jet. It looks like they opened the back to change the tire. It looks like they started changing the tire and they failed, and then they went.
Did they flatten the tire? What's going on? Something stupid.
Inside. They couldn't change a tire.
So naturally, the housemate who goes by Zeus pulled up to the house to confront them. And instead of apologizing, or I don't know, at least pretending to be sorry, one of the streamers starts throwing hands again on stream. And what's actually pretty funny about this is before all this popped off, Zeus was just roasting them for not being able to change a tire, saying that their fathers completely failed them. And I would say that's not only because of the fact they can't change a tire, but also due to how they act on their live streams.
The thing is, I grew up without a father. I know how to change a tire, but I physically can't anymore because of injuries and shit like that. But I also wouldn't behave like that. I think I would have never behaved like that unless I would have been with bad influences, you know, bad people. That's the thing. People that influence you to do stupid shit. That might be the case here. One guy has a bad idea and the other doesn't say no. That might be enough to get them going both.
But then suddenly it just completely escalates to a battery charge. And guess what? All of this, yet again, was live streamed.
Where'd you put the jack? It's around here somewhere.
Okay, here it is. Okay.
No, you're playing the wrong game. No. Playing the wrong game, man. You're 40 doing this. What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? You feel proud about yourself? Yeah, I do. You can't even change a tire. Your father failed you.
Are you like...
That's what you just said, dumbass. Hey, you literally just said it. We put that there so that you would
start listening to me talking. Start listening. Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot shoot it. I cannot shoot it.
Congratulations, you guys just live streamed yourself a...
Wait, did she say don't shoot me?
Oh, I cannot shoot it. I cannot shoot it.
Congratulations, you guys just live streamed yourself assaulting someone. One would think...
I can't really tell. But it was something of, I can shoot you or something like that? I don't know.
Something like that would maybe cause someone to reevaluate some of their life choices, but...
No, they don't, because they're stupid.
Of course not. Instead, we get one of the weirdest evictions I've ever seen. And it only makes sense that getting kicked out of a content house is being turned into content, because that's exactly what happened. I mean, as someone who has actually lived in a content house before, this is way more chaotic than I've ever experienced. And I had a pretty chaotic content house.
Can I get laid in? Hell no. Call the cops. Somebody call the cops. Call the cops. Just call the police. Call the police. Call the police. Mark, somebody call. I don't have my phone. I don't know where my phone went.
I don't want to get yelled at.
Call the police. Somebody.
I don't want to get yelled at as such a woman thing.
My house. I'm not joking. I don't want you here. Please leave. Get an Uber. Do we have to leave? Please leave.
I mean, you can't make this up. After telling Zeus that he's evicted, they began throwing his belongings into the front yard, only to accidentally lock themselves out of their own house.
Wait, they kicked
Honestly,
him out?
congratulations. I mean, this is just...
They kicked the victim out? That's... Wow, yeah. I think that's illegal. Because he's a tenant of the house, right? So they can't just throw him out. They have to actually evict him.
Not even the Looney Tunes could come up with something this good. So what do they do next? Well, they start throwing eggs at the woman that came along with their now evicted housemate. No lie. You can literally hear one of them say, "Don't show this," right before launching eggs at the girl's head.
I'll be out of here in no time. Don't show this. Okay.
Nice. Yep. Yep.
Yep, that's assault.
Nice.
Sorry, I didn't get a measure.
Yeah.
Weed.
Yeah.
So now we have, I guess, breaking into a car, theft, assault, some vandalism. I guess the eggs were the final straw because the cops showed up, the stream cuts, and our content criminals get hauled away in cuffs. Apparently, the only thing that can stop these guys from streaming are the literal police. Because there was at least 2 cameras filming this entire situation from start to finish until the handcuffs came on. So now, here's
Right.
where somehow the situation gets even dumber. Because while in jail,
Of course it
Darius
does.
made a recorded phone call that he also live streamed. Because why not keep broadcasting when you're facing multiple charges?
I'm assuming Merc is still streaming, right?
She ended, but Zeus is still alive.
Okay, can somebody please communicate to Merc that she either needs to, like, let it go? Because I'm going to get a personal bond.
Here's the thing. And I'm watching her stream. One of the reasons she's like upset right now is she can't release some of the things she. I guess certain charges, like the thing that involves family, you can't like drop that.
Yeah, well, I'm getting hit with an assault charge, and that's dependent on her.
Well, you assaulted her.
Personal bond, so I could just go to court later. So.
I will try to communicate that to her.
So obviously, in the call, he's begging someone to tell the victim who he assaulted to say it wasn't serious when the cops ask.
Well, she just needs to tell them that it wasn't serious when they call, because they're going to have to call her, and I need her phone number so I can give that to them.
Okay, I'll try to work on that.
He's trying to get a personal bond, meaning he'd be released from jail before trial, but he also wants her number so he can give it back to law enforcement. Let me be very clear.
That's retarded.
Isn't that witness tampering? Texas Penal Code 3605 makes this very clear. If you're offering any benefit to a witness or try to influence them to withhold information, you're looking at a 3rd-degree felony. That's up to 10 years in prison and or a $10,000 fine. But
Wow.
wait, just like any of my videos, it always gets worse. If the crime you're tampering with is a felony, your tampering charge gets bumped up to that same level. So, if you're charged with assault, your tampering charge becomes an assault level serious charge. Congratulations, you played yourself. Same thing if you're facing burglary charges. If it's a capital felony case, it becomes 1st degree. And if I'm reading this correctly, apparently that means life in prison. Now, obviously, I don't think these guys are going to catch that punishment to the full extent, but it's still an incredibly stupid thing to do. So, asking your chat to get behind you while you call the person you assaulted from jail, that's got to be one of the dumbest legal moves ever caught on stream. At one point, the guy literally asked chat if they've seen his mugshot yet. Then he tries to crowdsource legal advice like, hey chat, is witness tampering bad? Am I going to jail for that? Dude, you're not going to litigate your way out of a felony charge.
How stupid can one person... Well, I already know the answer to that. Very. He's very stupid. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is so dumb. It's incredible. I don't even know what to say. That's so dumb. How can these people be so stupid? I wonder what's behind all those people making the actual money. Because you know someone is behind them, some agent or agency that makes more money out of them than they make themselves. This is so dumb.
With PogChamps and a hype train.
They're saying that charge is, it depends on the cops.
Okay, what's chat saying?
It's not Merc gave
They're all saying-
information or word is that it's on
you
camera.
can't
So it's no longer a he said, she said thing.
Well, are they
You
saying
might
like
be able
free
to.
Darius or something? Like, are they giving me like my rep or something?
Imagine being in a cell and overhearing some kid saying, "Thanks for the 5 gifted. Hey, chat, is witness tampering bad?" Our generation.
How are these people so dumb and high? This is so ridiculous. It's so dumb. Why? Just don't. And why is it that these people, they don't do anything with their life except for streaming their lives, but they don't even have interesting lives. I think it would be more entertaining for a farmer to stream, you know, his life. That would be more interesting. I can guarantee that. Yes, I do. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. Yeah.
Is so blasted at this point. Like, it's over for us. But I guess the chat was right about one thing. There are charges here that just can't simply be dropped. The entire thing was streamed. It's all recorded. The cops don't need a victim to press charges. The evidence is publicly available. They are their own star witnesses against themselves, like so many of the other people we cover here on this channel. They've made it essentially impossible for a defense attorney to argue reasonable doubt. What are they going to say? Your Honor, my client was merely role-playing as a criminal. Your Honor, it was all LARP. The crazy thing is, this could have just been like a messy fight between some psychotic, clout-hungry roommates, but because everything was broadcasted for the entire world to see, the cops have everything they need. So let's break this down. One guy, he's facing 2.5 years for burglary and assault. And if you add the witness tampering, that could at least double it. Then obviously Kick might ban them. Honestly, they probably won't though, but who knows? They did permanently ban Jack. So that's definitely not impossible. And of course, their content house is now officially the dumbest criminal organization since the Wet Bandits. Like, come on guys. Live streaming your crimes, that's not a personality. It's just a prison sentence. Like, you don't earn clout from a courtroom. You earn a criminal record. And if you're consulting your Kick chat for legal advice while facing 3rd-degree felonies, maybe, just maybe, content creation isn't really for you. So Darius got out of his little pickle in jail, and he decided to respond to this immediately in the dumbest way possible. First, he went to Facebook Marketplace, leaked his number, and then announced that he was going to buy a $4,000 sports bike. Then after all that, he essentially went, okay, by the way, guys, I need like $8,000 right now from you guys for legal fees or I'm cooked. I mean, the complete lack of self-awareness here blows my mind.
Yeah.
How is one acting this stupid? How are you?
By being that stupid. I mean, it's not a really real question. He is just that stupid. Why is this a question? He is that stupid. That's why he does the stupid things. Of course.
Going to talk about dropping $4,000 on a bike and then immediately turn around and beg your chat to double that amount and give it to you.
I got messaged from the guy today. Take an Uber to court. Dude, it looks better if I get there by myself. I got messaged by the guy today. Oh, I just leaked my own phone number. That's awesome. Okay, so here's the 2 bikes. Left or right? Choose. Okay, we're getting this bike within the next 48 hours, no matter what. But
How about none? How about you focus about, you know, not going to jail? I would at least kind of farm content out of me possibly going to jail. You know? That would be a smart thing to do instead of this.
do need $8K for my lawyers. My lawyer said we're gonna. So me and my lawyers are gonna do the payment. So here's the thing. I need $8K for my lawyers. I talked to my lawyer. Not gonna say his name, but my lawyer pretty much was like, "Listen, man, we need to like be on the same page, man. You can't be streaming me while we're talking. Let's just keep this stuff between you and me." And I'm not doing that right now, obviously, because I haven't paid him. Why does he sound like that? Because he's from Texas. So I do need 8K. So anyone who wants to dono 8K or 10K right now, we pretty much can just solve this whole situation. I'm going to do a donation drive. Should we do a donation drive? How should we go about this?
Come on. I mean, at this point, he's just trying to speed run, trying to get dropped by his lawyer. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
So I live streamed myself being a complete moron Can someone donate like $10,000 so we can just kind of solve this? This is just like some out of the galaxy levels of stupidity here. I have honestly never seen someone this entitled in my life, and I'm afraid
Really? Then you haven't seen a lot of people, I guess. I mean, have you been on the internet before? I mean, there are a lot of entitled people on the internet.
he's going to have a very
Remember the Twitch streamer girl that got angry at people for not paying $5 for a subscription? Oh, what a fucking cunt.
rude awakening sooner than later. Congratulations, you completely played yourself. You've documented and live streamed everything, and by doing so, you signed up for being the star witness against yourself. Anyways, this story was just an insane cover. But I mean, hey, at least he didn't stand up and urinate in the middle of a flight and delay a whole bunch of flights like this guy and all the people in this video did, because that's also just an absolutely outrageous story you can check out here. But other than that, drop a like on this video if you're new here. Feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, this is all these stupid people. Oh my god, more pirate software drama? Oh god, no. Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear that Steam got fucked by payment processors? Yeah. It's bad. Husband is not willing to sacrifice. Let's
Lower your standard of living, you
No.
entitled.
No, I will not do that.
Great, so go ahead and have it so that you have. So go ahead and do it so that you guys are never able to retire and your kids put their lives on hold to take care of their irresponsible
Just like
parents.
everyone else.
Just like everyone else?
Just like everyone else.
Are you fucking stupid? What are you talking about? My parents are gonna be able to retire because they sacrificed eventually once they figured out financial literacy. So I'm not gonna have to put my life on hold to deal with them. But because you guys are babies, when your kids are trying to navigate their early adulthood, they're gonna have to put their life on hold because their parents decided to not grow up past the age of 5.
That, I think, is acceptable to me. And the reason...
This guy is a retard. People like that should have never had children. I can guarantee you their children will hate their parents. They will hate these people. And it's not even hyperbolic or anything like that. They will just hate them for being such bitches.
Really? They didn't consent to come in this world, but you guys chose to bring them in. And that's fair to put that burden on them? Fuck you. Lower.
I hate people like that. I really do. I really, really do. This is so disgusting. It's horrendous. Where were we? We were at Watch Later. Oh boy. Anything funny? Another Tozy video? I already did two. Nah. Oh yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this one.
One thing I never had on the bingo card for 2025 is Ready or Not being downvote brigaded by their own community.
Yeah, imagine that. If you censor your game, your players won't like that. Who could have guessed?
At a time during the Steam summer sale where Ready or Not is 50% off on Steam, you'd think we'd see a lot more eyes on their title leading up to their console launch on July 15th.
Oh, console, nice.
And for
Good for them.
transparency's sake, I have a pending deal with Ready or Not to celebrate their console launch. They wanted me to jump in. That was going to be some sponsored content for Void Interactive. And as you guys can now see from this chart, things aren't looking very good. It seems like for the last few days, people are getting a little pissed off. Articles being written about how controversial first-person shooter Ready or Not drops to mixed reviews as community slams the developers.
Why is the game controversial? Are they retarded?
For censorship. What does this all mean? Let's talk about it. Ready or Not will be censored before launching on consoles, and it could even affect the PC version. Now, this article was
This is bad. This is really bad.
published 2 days ago. It has now been confirmed this is happening to the PC version as well. And we're just going to go to the source here and read through what's actually going on. Console rating content changes. Throughout the console port process, we've done our utmost to only make changes when they're flagged as absolutely required by our first-party partners. Our age rating as it stands for consoles is ESRB M rating, PEGI 18, USK 18 to give an idea. Still, there are other game content requirements that console platforms have in order to exist on their systems, and a portion of these changes will be visible on the PC version. And
fuck this shit. Fuck consoles.
Instead of jumping into that, they go in and explain the reasons why. There are two main reasons that these limited asset changes may be visible on the PC version as well. Maintaining multiple versions of the game with different assets and system mechanics increases the likelihood of bugs to appear in future updates. So because this game is cross-platform when it comes to consoles, things have to have parity. If the in-game assets were not the same, it would make crossplay unusable. And because people want crossplay, both games have to remain the same.
Then just don't have crossplay.
So what does that mean? It means we're losing a lot of gore and dismemberment. Player-induced dismemberment still has a large presence in the game, but is a little more limited as to when it occurs. When alive enemies are shot, they can undergo dismemberment. However, once they are dead, no further dismemberment occurs. No.
Okay. To be fair, I don't care about this. This is completely fine. I mean, sure, yeah. It's censorship, but I don't care about that. Because who actually goes to a dead enemy and dismembers it? I mean, you do in the Forest game and Sons of the Forest, but not here. It has zero gameplay incentive or use.
No, the level of dismemberment itself, when it occurs, was not actually toned down. Ultimately, we consider this an okay compromise considering our gameplay design already dissuades use of lethal force anyway. So if you have somebody on the ground, you shoot them with a shotgun, and when they're already dead, they're no longer being dismembered. Lastly, some characters' art involving torture were tuned down slightly to be less over the top. For example, the tortured police informant on Narcos is still missing fingers, eyes, and covered in fresh wounds and blood, but a little bit less so. So it's just been toned down just slightly. Plus, some instances of explicit nudity for a handful of civilians and one suspect have been covered up a bit more. Can't show titties. It's consoles, they're babies.
Of course
Explicit representations of violence and mistreatment against children. Although we already make a substantial effort to present mistreatment against children in the game in a responsible way, we made slight thematic expansions of this philosophy in order to better meet certification standards. For example, the child on Twisted Nerve has an animation change to be unconscious or sleeping instead of previously convulsive animations. So remember that kid in the top floor of Twisted Nerve who was like convulsing on the bed because she was left by her parents, probably induced something we didn't really know? That's no longer the case. This is the same team that's staring down the barrel of a gun from all of the media journalists who were shitting on them for creating a school shooter level. They came down and said, fuck that. We're going to do it with respect. We're going to do it right. And we're going to do it whether you like it or not. But when you have platforms that are telling you that you need to change the contents of your game to be less violent, to be less explicit, to show less titties or whatever, you got to play by their rules. The changes with the console version are small enough that most people here wouldn't notice if we didn't say anything, but we want to be transparent. It's largely just evidence and nudity that's altered, and the texture changes don't affect the PC version. In conclusion, they're looking forward to their console launch and relieved to be fully finished with all of their console launch certification processes. And as you probably know already, this has pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah, I can guess that, yeah. I can see why. I mean, to be fair, the changes don't seem to be big, but they are still there, and that's a problem. And I can see why the players don't like it. I can't see that. I wouldn't like that either.
The first comment on this post is huge respect for creating one of the standout games in its genre and keeping the experience alive and thriving years after release. I gotta say, on one hand, I actually agree. And as you can see, the clown emojis are being thrown out. You're censoring the game, not a fan. These ones are getting upvoted. Loving the new animations, but toning down the graphic themes of the game is a bit questionable. I actually agree. It's one of the main reasons why we all got excited about this game back in 2017 when we first started seeing these concepts come to life. The school shooter level. Remember the initial like concept?
Oh boy, a school shooter level. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But I know, you know, that people, stupid people, will have a problem with a school shooter level because they can't think. They only hear school shooter level and they think you are the school shooter. You are the bad guy. Of course they do that because they are stupid.
Trailer where they showed the officers opening up the shipping container and there were kids in there being trafficked and you rescue them. Those themes are what sold us on the game in the first place. And like this person points out, it was either that, the censoring of the game, or they get an adults only rating, which is basically commercially non-viable. So here we are. We're sitting here at the cusp of a console release and we have people now downvoting the game because they're not a fan of the censorship that is inevitably going to be coming to the PC version of the game. Now, here's the thing. For the console crowd, if there wasn't crossplay and they wanted to downtone it, like, it is what it is. The fact that people have already purchased the game, most likely based on some of those themes that you guys show off in the screenshots, in the trailers, and in videos that we have already made on this channel in the past, the fact that that now is being changed after a purchase for somebody is kind of a shitty thing to do.
Yes. And the thing is, they don't really want to do it. If they wouldn't need to do it, if they could just release the game on consoles without this censorship, they would do that. But it's the consoles, the companies there, that want the censorship. I wonder why, you know, the further on we go, the further left, you know, everything goes, the more censorship we have. I wonder why that is.
I understand not wanting to go adults only. If you're putting all of these resources together to make a console version for the console crowd, you want to make as much money as humanly possible to make that money back. I totally understand the business side of why you want to go down this road. The fact that it affects the PC release when it's already been out in the open for years on end is questionable, and it just downright fucking sucks. Awake here points out, here we go again, all PC players suffer because of console players. Yeah, refund sounds like a reasonable idea after downgrading the game. Now here's the thing, I don't know if I'm personally like upset enough to want to refund the game and say fuck it. Ready or Not is one of the best indie shooters that—
Yeah, that's a problem here, because you've paid for the game, you have played the game for hundreds of hours. Should you still get a refund after the game gets censored because they're publishing on a different platform too? Should that be allowed? Should these people be allowed to get a refund? That's an actual hard question. Because they have used the game. They played it for hundreds of hours. This is actually hard.
that we have covered on this channel. They started off really, really rough, and they made their way to, again, one of the best releases that we have seen in a long time. But as the next comment points out, he believes that censoring certain aspects of the game is compromising the core identity of Ready or Not. And it's unfortunate that it has to be this way and the developers have to compromise. I'm sure they're not happy about it at all. I'm sure they would have loved just a one-to-one parody of whatever's on the PC version can be on the console version. Probably would have made their lives a lot easier. But if I could give the developers a little bit of advice, you do not want to jump into a thread like this with this response. For clarification, the changes aren't extensive. They're only minor skin changes, with the most significant change being that players lose the ability to desecrate corpses, which I know for some people is like, yeah, big deal, but read the room. There's so many pissed off people. Gerard's ghillie just goes down a little further. The woman on port gained tattered clothes instead of being nude. Small changes like that. Kaminsky, you got...
To be fair, these are small changes. That the women are scantily clad, have a little clothes on instead of being naked, yeah, okay. And personally, I don't care because it's not a Guna game. If it would be a Guna game, then we would have a problem. You know?
How to read the room. And I think this comment really just sums up how I feel. Look, I get the overall challenge with the porting process, but that doesn't make the forced compliance of a console port censorship guideline on us feel any less icky. As somebody who backed this game back in 2000, I think it was 2017, 2018, it kind of sucks to see the neutering of that atmosphere happen because they want to put it on consoles. I totally understand. The console crowd has been begging, dude, the console crowd's been begging for fucking anything with a gun on it for years on end. I totally get it, but it does kind of suck. And as you can see, their community hub is being more desecrated than the corpse can be now. There's so many people complaining. I was about to buy this game, fuck censorship. Crossplay was a mistake. If they censor, we should all mass downvote the game. That's what's happening now. But the thing is mass downvotes and bitching on community hubs is only going to get you so far when you look like the game's sitting at the last 30 days, it gained up, it went down, came up. I'm guessing that has a lot to do with the Steam summer sale. Right now there's 12,000 people online, which
that's a good number for a relatively small game. What's the all-time? I guess 50,000.
the game doesn't seem to be
55,000. That's a good number for a small game. Small game. These are good numbers. These are good numbers for a game like that.
losing steam at all. When you look at the charts for 2025, like the game was kind of losing steam, trickling down, 7,000, 6,000. You know, we hit the end of the month here in June. Steam summer sale starts and starting to climb right back up to around 11,000. It's not at its highest peak by any stretch. So while it's down a little bit from where it started at the beginning of the year, where it was hitting, you know, peaks of around 20,000.
But what's the overall? Let's go back to max. Oh yeah, it's the maxes here where full release was, I guess. Then it went down and a little bit up and down, but it's yeah. It looks a little rough, I guess.
It hasn't dropped enough to really probably make a difference to the developers. I think they can clearly tell that a lot of people are pissed off with this change. And it's tough because I completely understand both sides of the coin. The developers want to get this into many people's hands as possible. People have been begging for them to do it, and this is the compromise that they have to make to be able to pass those certifications. But I also understand the gamer side of things. I don't think the console crowd actually cares about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misreading it. I think the console crowd is just going to be psyched to have a tactical shooter that they can play on a controller on their TV in their fucking living rooms. I think the biggest problem is the PC people who have paid for the game already and now have to suffer those changes. But I can completely understand it from both perspectives, but I want to know what you guys think down below. I have a feeling that a lot of you are going to be upset at those content changes and the censorship for the console crossplay parity. And while you're letting me know your thoughts down below, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more FPS content just like this. And if you guys want to support the channel, you can do so by going to gamersupps.gg.
Okay, yeah, that's it. There wasn't a lot here. But yeah, censorship bad. Even a little censorship is bad, but I think it would have been the best to have two versions of the game, but one is PC only. You can't, play with console players, and then you have a PC version where you can play with console players, but it's the same version that the console players have. I think that would have been the smartest decision here. As the smartest decision would have been to make a compromise. And that's what I would have done. And I'm done for today because my neck starts to hurt, and that's not good. I have to move a little and do some exercise, and then, yeah, taking care of things. So for now, that's it. I hope you liked your stay and come back next time. And I also have a YouTube channel. If you wanna watch my stuff when I'm not live, go over there. And yeah, see you next time. Have a nice Sunday. Go outside if the weather is nice. Here it's not really, but it could be worse. So goodbye.